No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Welcome to the Parlay Pursuit. We are back off the heels of UFC, Madison Square Garden, Pereira versus Prochazka, Aspinall versus Pavlovich. We had a whole night of gambling. Some of us were big winners. Some of us were losers. I think you can probably tell by looking at the screen who won and who lost. I'm not even in my regular location. I've been kicked out of my own home, it would appear. I'm wearing Tommy Hilfiger. This is broke boy stuff, guys. But Alex came away with a pretty penny, stayed true to himself and his reservations, and his did I say that word right, Dan? His
I was on the same reservation that Alex Pereira comes from.
Okay, I think that they still have. Let's not get into that. But anyway, he's a different kind of Native American.
Oh, okay.
Brazilian kind. Guys, we're coming off the heels of a very exciting card. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about Alex's big win. We're going to talk about where I went wrong, give you everything that happened last weekend, and then we're going to move forward, okay? We're going to move forward unto dawn into next weekend, where we have Brandon Allen taking on Paul Craig. Womp, who really cares? No, I'm kidding. It's going to be a good fight. We're going to break it down for you. Oh, wait, we already did. So when we break it down, again, it'll be on the Patreon. You can see the ticker at the bottom of the screen. That's where you can access the Fine Tooth Comb Club. We do every fight breakdown well in advance, and then we go through it again the week of. So we did the Allen versus Craig breakdown last week. It's there for you, main card and prelims. We're going to go through it again after this episode with a fine-tooth comb in the Patreon. One last look. Also talk about some hot topics we can't talk about on the YouTube show or don't want to talk about on the YouTube show. Save it all for the Patreon, for the Comb Club. That's where you get inner access to the inner circle. Join the Comb Club. We bet with some of the Comb Club money last weekend, and it was our first time doing this. We've saved that money. We haven't used that money for anything but charity and funding the show. Now, all of a sudden, we get a wild hair up our ass. We say Sergey Pavlovich as an underdog. It's the bet to make. This is our moment to start our ascension, right, to great riches. And we took some of the money from the Patreon, not all of it, but a chunk, put it on Sergey Pavlovich just to see him get knocked the fuck out by a jiu-jitsu guy. So, I mean, this is the sport we watch. This is the sport we bet on. Just when you think you're confident about something, just when someone is Triple B certified, a wrench gets thrown into the plans. And I was the one sticking to my guns, not Triple B certifying Yuri Prochazka. Alex and Dan came on here, and they were emphatic. Alex Pereira is going to win. This is easy. This is great odds. Take Alex Pereira. I was stuck in my ways. I thought Yuri was destined up until the moment that he said it was a fair stoppage. I mean, I thought it was an inappropriate stoppage. Just like Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier, I thought it was an inappropriate stoppage up until Yuri, gave me a little pat on the head and said,
I was out. I was out.
I think he was lying. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. So I went 3 out of 11. All right. There was the draw, the push, right? I went 3 out of 11. I got 3 correct picks, right? My correct picks were John Castaneda, Triple B certified, Diego Lopez, Triple B certified, and the one pick where I was on an island by myself, Benoit St. Denis, BSD. I picked him. I told everybody, don't be tempted. The line is too good. It's at Madison Square Garden for Vola. He performs very well here. Don't be tempted, I said. What we shouldn't have been tempted is all the other guys from New York that night, right? Dennis Bajukia, fucking, what's his name? Nadzim Sajikov. Who else? There's another one in there. I know it. I know he's in there.
I think there's only 3 New Yorkers.
We're going to throw Pat Sabatini in there, too. He's from the tri-state area. We're throwing him in there. And Matt Frivola. The 4 of them. All of them stink.
Jared Gordon, too.
Jared Gordon. Yeah. I mean, he got his ass.
Won.
He won, but he got his ass whooped a little bit for that beginning sequence. So, listen. My point is, I should have bet better. I should have picked better. 3 out of 11 is not acceptable. It'll probably be the only time this year that it even happens. I go maybe 1 event, 2 events a year where I'm under 50%. So my accuracy rating is still 60% for year 4, 166 correct out of 273 given. But for the first time in the 6 months since May, when our year 4 began, our show started when Tony Ferguson fought Justin Gaethje, when the UFC brought the sports back to the world. May 9th, I believe, May 9th. That's when our season begins. So May 9th until now, I was in first place. Dan has surpassed me with 61.9% accuracy, 169. 3 picks better than me, 169 out of 273. Trophy certified picks still lead the way, 92 out of 136. 67.6% accurate in year 4. They finished year 3, 69.9% accurate. So we are floating in that 67 to 70% range with our Triple certified picks, the picks that all 3 of us sync up and agree on. So we try to look for bets that are below minus 175, minus 200 range, because we want to be able to bet long-term on Triple certified picks at better than break-even odds, right? So when we saw Triple certified Sergey Pavlovich at plus 110, that was a very bettable, very strikeable opportunity. But what we should have done was looked at the other 2. Lopez plus 100, Castaneda minus 135. 2 strike-worthy Triple certified picks. We could have been already well in the profits going into the Pavlovich fight if we just actually just got our heads out of our ass for a second. We got too excited, I think. I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts on the card? I just told you how my night went. I'll get into the nitty-gritty, the specifics, but I think Alex should kind of really sum it up because he's the one who won money. So,
yeah, I'm not mad about the Pavlovich pick. You know, I thought that the over was ripe. It wasn't. I thought Tabitha Ricci was ripe, and believe me, she is ripe for the picking, but she did not win that fight. Yeah, man, it was a weird night in terms of we had a lot of very exciting fights. One that I got really wrong was Marco Madsen couldn't get Jared Gordon to the ground, but I pulled it all together. I gave you guys Andrade. These guys they thought Mackenzie Dern was Miss Boxer Girl. They thought that Mackenzie Dern was going to go out there and beat up Jessica Andrade. Yeah, the fuck right. She did. I don't even think she landed a punch on Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade dropped her to the ground like 8 times in that fight. Probably should have got stopped quite a few times before that. And Alex Pereira comes in, wins me my money. Sorry, I'm having a hard time here, boys. I am deathly ill right now. I am about to die. I can barely talk. They're about to put me on an iron lung. But Alex Pereira won me everything back. I put the bag on Alex Pereira and ended up a little bit in the green. So I'm very happy. I bet like $1,200 on him. Came out on top. And I couldn't be happier, baby.
You should really, like, this is what I want to say. So you went 7 out of 11 on the night. You got Alex Pereira, Jessica Andrade, Diego Lopez, Steve Verseg, John Castaneda, Joshua Van, Jamal Embers, all correct. Pushed with Sajikov. You got Madsen, Ricci for Vola, and Pavlovich wrong. 4 underdogs. I mean, all 4 of those picks were underdogs that you got wrong. I think that you need to temper your expectations moving forward with bets like the one you did on Alex Pereira, because, as you know, he did get it done for sure, but it just as easily could have gone the other way.
It wouldn't have, and it didn't.
I'm not done. And you really gambled irresponsibly with more money than you can afford to lose. And you should be more reasonable. The reason that you bet that, why don't you tell the audience, you know, Mr. Oh, I'm sober for the whole month of November. You said on this show that you were going to be sober for the whole month of November.
I was sober. This is fake news.
Sober.
This is fake news. Luke doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Luke doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He thinks.
Give us a breakdown of your night. Give us a breakdown of your night.
I am just guessing that you were drunk to make this decision.
What did you do? What were you doing? Where were you?
I was at my house alone watching.
Now when you called me, where the fuck were you when you called me? You sounded like you were at a bar.
I have a sound bar. I'm not a broke boy. Sorry, guys. I don't know who's telling me I'm irresponsible with my money over here. I doubled it. I doubled my money, and I was responsible enough to make the right pick. You know, Luke was over here beating the Sergey Pavlovich drum. I told him, I said, I don't know, both these guys are off the couch. Anything can fucking happen. Maybe we should go Tabitha Ricci. Still would have been wrong, so I can't be that mad at him. But
so, yeah, every other pick that you
but I said, no, the first thing I said when you say Sergey Pavlovich, I said, Alex Pereira. You said, well, I'm taking Yuri. So that's not happening.
I did say that, yeah.
Boom.
And
well,
so
Alex, you were very gung-ho on the over 1.5. So I was keen to remember that. I was like, this did not go over 1.5.
Hey,
I your Ricci pick, as you already said. So at least you brought that up.
Listen, we can keep talking about where I was wrong on the night. It's really few and far between. But, like, we can be hung up on the Ricci, the over 1.5 bet, whatever. I am the only winner here. I don't want to listen to any of this. I'm drinking winner's piss right here. Luke, you're drinking a beer right now. I'm drinking some ginger tea. You said
from how much you drank on Saturday and got yourself hungover, and now
I was sick since last Monday. When we recorded the show last time, I said I come here.
Scouts honor that you didn't drink on Saturday.
Throw it up.
I did not drink. I was never a Boy Scout. I was never a Cub Scout. I did not drink. I did not do it. I did not hit there.
All right, fair enough. I'll believe you then. I mean, I just assumed that to make a crazy bet like that, you know, on a fight that really could have gone either way, he was getting shinned up in that.
He wasn't. That leg was battered. That leg was bruised. Yuri couldn't put any power on anything he had. Yuri was a done for.
I don't care if Yuri says it was a good stoppage. It's not for him to determine if it was a good stoppage. It's for us to determine, because I'm an objective third party, meaning like here's what I'm saying, right? Mark Goddard, he should have let it go longer. Okay, when he was doing a move. The move he happened to be doing was pull Alex Pereira into full mount. Now, listen, I'm not saying it was a good move, all right? But it was
pull him into full mount.
Yuri makes a lot of bad moves in there. Yuri makes a lot of bad moves.
Keeps his opponents guessing, man.
Yes.
Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, just because you wouldn't pull Alex Pereira on top of you into full mount position on you, doesn't mean that's why you've never been a UFC champion like Yuri. Think about it. So what right do you have for an opinion? We have to talk on the Comb Club about Laura Sanko on Saturday's weigh-in show. DC, Laura Sanko. I mean, I told you guys, I said, it's going to be in New York. Chris Weidman's going to be there. When it's Weidman in DC, there are no rules. No one is telling those two what to do, okay? You know what they both have in common? They both beat up Anderson Silva. Who's going to tell the fuck them what to do, all right? Nobody. So they just do whatever they want. They bully everybody around. It's hilarious. Laura Sanko's like their little sister, and they just get her into fucking awkward predicaments throughout the entire show. It's also a lot of drinking and encouragement of drinking. The show takes place at 11 a.m., guys. We're watching this at 11 a.m. They're doing shots of Howlerhead, drinking Modelo's, drinking Bud Lights. And I'm like, okay.
Best sound clip from that was we got to double team Laura when they were playing the drinking game.
Yeah, she's like, you don't say that on TV. It's like they're also encouraging, you know, a 90-pound soaking wet woman to do multiple shots of whiskey at 11 a.m. Like, it's just like, you know, not what you would expect to see in the workplace. Okay,
I'm excited to hear about this. I have no idea what was happening with that, but it sounds like a very good story. Good story for
great. It's so entertaining and fun. I'm not saying they should stop. I'm just saying, like, it's fun.
No, I want to hear your take on it on the Comb Club. That's what I'm saying.
We'll talk about the Code Club.
Looking forward to it.
Let's just get into the highlights of last week. I have some lowlights. I have some highlights. Here's what I think. Pat Sabatini needs to do a round in PFL, needs to do a round in, you know, one fighting championship, some shit, bare knuckle, game bred FC, anything but the UFC. He's out for now. I don't make the rules. I like Sabatini. I like guys from the tri-state area. But if I came out here and defended Pat Sabatini, what I say about all the other guys from the tri-state area, like Aaron Blanchfield, Joe Solecki, fucking Frankie the Fire Marshall, like when I talk these guys up, it's not going to mean anything if I'm just blindly following anybody with a Philadelphia accent. Okay, so Pat Sabatini's out. Cut Pat Sabatini.
How about this? Real quick. Could he make 35? I feel like he's a small featherweight.
I want to look back. Here's what I want for Pat Sabatini. And he might think that I'm being harsh on him, but if I were his manager, I would be doing – he would have 3 times the money that he has in his bank account right now if I were his manager. Because here's what I would say. Pat, we need to do to you what they're doing to Randy Costa. We need to do to you what happened to – I was going to say Modestus Bukauskas, but I think he's actually not managing his career very well at all. But what I mean is you need to leave. You need to get some good wins. You need to have everybody looking at your tapology going – you know, and they cut Pat Sabatini, but really, if you look at his losses in hindsight, I mean, boom, boom, boom. He's got some. That's what we need for him, because what that's going to do is it's going to help his brand, right? He stays in the UFC, keeps getting whitewashed by guys that haven't proven themselves in the UFC yet to a large degree. Damon Jackson's a balding man. Diego Lopez is the opposite of a balding man. He has amazing hair, but relatively unproven. That's why he was an underdog going into this fight. Those who know, you know, he's got Alexa Grasso. He's super athletic, super determined, dream, believe, and make it happen. I love Diego Lopez. The only reason I'm sad coming out of the weekend is that we will never get Diego Lopez at underdog odds again, I don't think, because now everybody and their mother, after seeing him on a big card like that, is going to be betting him every chance.
The secret's out. The secret's out.
But once again, we were ahead of the curve on that. I remember taking Diego Lopez against his first fight, like live. Yeah. But I did something where I bet it live and I cashed out or something. Like I still won money. Either it was weird. We were at the Orioles game, Alex. Anyway, let's move on. I just want to say Dennis Buzukja, in the same vein as Pat Sabatini, he's cut. We're done with him. That was piss poor, pathetic. Hamzat Chimaev versus Gerald Mershark level performance. And on the weigh-in show, the aforementioned weigh-in show, Weidman, he's talking up all his guys. He's like, Dennis Buzukja, he's so good. He came up. He's like, at first I didn't like him because he came up to me. He's like, yo, I'm going to be undefeated champion just like you, Chris. I look up to you, and I'm going to be just like you. He was kind of McGregory when he first came up to me, but now I got to. He's like, he stumbled in his first fight, Woodson, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, but now he's going to get back on track. He's like, okay, dude, if you're going to be McGregor, we'll give you one. If you're going to be Chris Weidman, we'll give you one. But now you lost against Jamal Embers first round after he missed weight in your hometown, first fight of the night.
Knockout.
Dennis Buzukja from the roster. But Kevin Bjorgas deserves more money. He's an amazing fighter. I think that fight was, I don't know if it was short notice but he was just a big underdog, I think. And that's just what made him stand out to me. Even though he lost, I think there's a case you could say he won that fight. So I love Kevin Bjorgas. Going to be looking to bet him again in the future. He's the real deal. John Castaneda. Didn't see too much of this fight. I was in and out of the room with my daughter. What do you guys think about this one?
I cannot comment. Alex, go ahead.
Why can't you comment?
So I went to the Penn State Michigan game. All right.
Right. You told us about this.
But real quick, long story short,
you said you had it all lined up. It was going to be a perfect day of sports.
Here's what it was. So we went. It was a raucous event, right? The Michigan coaching box is right behind me. I'm flashing signs at them and saying, "Steal these signs!" Blah, 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 doing these fake signs. They're looking at me like I'm scum. Whatever. It was a great time. Real quick story. There's a fan in front of me. He's like 50 years old, right? And he's all about it, and he's making me feel like sports are lame. Like I'm thinking now that sports are lame because he's like, you gotta beat them at the line of scrimmage, and like saying these really like nerdy things. I'm like, sports really are for nerds. But anyway, JJ McCarthy, quarterback of Michigan, comes up a little limber after a play, right? And this guy, again, 50 years old, talking about this 20-year-old kid. He's like, he's injured. And he's like looking around like for the validation. And his wife is like, no, you got to stop. He's a child. You're rooting for a child to be like injured. And everyone's like, nah, not about that. Like, let's just win fair and square. It was a very funny moment. Anyway, we were just having a great time. We get back around.
I want to say I feel bad for that guy, and if I were there,
you feel very bad.
The cringeness alone would have made me be his friend. A lot of people on the show think I'm a bully because I bully Ian Gary, I bully Chase Hooper, I bully a lot of these guys. But
you don't punch down.
I don't punch down. Exactly. If I see somebody who needs a hand, if I see somebody in a room, if there's a girl in a room and she's standing in the corner, I will ask her to dance. Okay, metaphorically.
Listen, the only way you can improve
in real life, like I don't dance with ugly girls or anything like that. I'm kidding.
The only way you can improve his life is have him move away from Central PA.
On the corner. I would avoid her. I'm saying like that guy that Dan was talking about with the social awkwardness. I would be like, I gotta help this guy. That's my currency. The girl in the corner doesn't want me either. She doesn't want me coming up to her. Trust me. That's the last thing she wants. She needs, the guy in the corner. That's who need each other, right? Not me. I will anyway.
I mean, I support that guy as well. I was rooting for injuries all yesterday during the football games. I had a parlay out there. I won that too. When you're hot, you're hot. What can I say?
Hey.
Another $500 in my bank account. But hey, let's talk about my irresponsible gambling, right? Like, but whatever, Dan.
Wait, hold on. Let me put a bow on this. So we get back. We get back around 5:00. We're all tipsy-do, and we say, hey, power nap. Prelim start at 6. All right, power nap, 8 o'clock. Wake up at 8 o'clock. Miss the first 2 hours of fights. Look at my phone. Everything's going almost perfectly as far as the results. The only thing I would have made it a little bit better for me was over 1.5 in that Emmers fight. But regardless, still great outcome. I was able to watch the fights from 8 o'clock on. Bought the pay-per-view in our little condo. Everyone was down to stay in. It was perfect. It was perfect from the watch experience. But yes, I did miss the first 3 or 4 pre-prelim fights.
What was the climate like when Trump walked in at your watch party?
Oh, we were like, yes! It was great. It was awesome. So cool. Plus,
so you endorsed Donald Trump in 2024, Dan?
Say what?
So you publicly endorsed Donald Trump 2024?
No
endorsements. No political endorsements on the show. Save it for the Comb Club. All right,
Comb Club.
You got to save that for the Comb Club. That's what the Comb Club members are paying for, is the political talk. because we get very political in the Comb Club. You want to know where each of us stand? And believe me, none of us see eye to eye on anything except one thing, which is America something. Anyway, you got to go to the Comb Club. I can't say what America it is.
There we go.
Grateful
now we
for the
can see
PPP.
it. Grateful for the PPP. That's what we're all in agreement on as well.
PP people in the Comb Club, because some guy DMs me. I don't know this guy in real life at all, right? We've been Instagram friends for 3 years, I guess, since the early days of the show. And we're cordial, right? But then he DMs me, yo, you got picks? Like, what's the he DMs me, said, is Sergey Triple P certified? Now, not only did we do that on the public episode, right? Like to ask me after the Comb Club, like, so if he had asked me like in between the public episode and the Comb Club, I would have been like, yeah, dog, Triple P certified. But since he asked after the Comb Club episode, which is the final stamp, right? And that's what the people pay for, is the final stamp. Did he withstand the test of time to still be Triple P certified, like a calcified piece of rock, like at the end of the day? And, I'm like, yeah, listen, that information is available easy for you in the Comb Club. Like, you don't need to wait for me to DM you back. You could just go right to the Comb Club. Here's the link. It's very, reasonably priced. And, as broke as I really am, especially after Sergey losing and other outcomes, pretty much every bet. When you go 3 out of 11, you look at your parlays, you're like, did anything come close? And a lot of my parlays were just like red the whole way down. Like nothing, not even one thing hit. So there was really no options for me. From the Jared Gordon fight on, I was dead.
That is just as impressive as going 100%.
And I tried to just like put something together, and it just was down.
At least your picks are valuable, because somebody could have just faded every single one of those and won. So regardless, you are giving value.
Red November.
But I don't want people to fade my picks, because that doesn't generally happen. You know what I mean? But I was down. But people were very encouraging in my group chats. I have several gambling group chats, even outside of the one with us three. And Alex, you were really encouraging, I gotta say, even though I kind of tried to pee in your shoes, but only because I thought you were drinking. I really thought you and your girl were out at a bar, and I'm like, they made it 2 weeks. That's right when you finally get to turn the corner and break the habit and feel good and moving forward. I'm like, but they couldn't even do 2 weeks. I was feeling very, it hurt me to think that you guys gave yourself a treat. I didn't think the treat was earned yet. I thought you should have been nose in the books, watching the fight, making good moves. And apparently you were. So I take it all back. I mean, if you were home, not drinking, and if you had a couple drinks at home, I'll forgive you. You know what I mean? I'll forgive you. But I'm just saying, it's, you said you didn't, and I believe you. So I wouldn't expect you to lie, even though you did Scouts Honor, but you said you're not a scout. You said you weren't a scout. That's see,
Dan, he just tried to like catch me on like some girlfriend level manipulation to get me to admit something I didn't even do. Like he's the U.S. government and I'm in Guantanamo Bay.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
we'll catch you. We'll catch you.
Hey, listen, I'm proud of you, and I hope that this doesn't ruin the month experiment. I want you to stay the course, because you look great, your body looks great, your skin looks great, your hair looks great. You're betting great. So I'm just gonna throw away the key. Okay, so guys, some quick other highlights, right? Ricci.
But John Castaneda, to answer your question, He did great. He won on every single scorecard, every single round. Absolutely dapped this boy up.
I thought he was getting messed up in the first, though. When I was watching the first couple of minutes of the first, I was like, it looks like he's losing, and I walked away.
No, I don't think that was the case at all. I think he did really well. Okay. He beat the shit out of him.
I think Steve Erceg should be cut as well. Coward move, fought like a woman in the third round there, just pushing him up against the fence and just grinding out to a decision. Didn't care about impressing the fans. Didn't care about going out on his shield or taking his opponent out. Didn't have the energy to fight in the third round. To the point where he wasn't fighting. He was just stalling. I mean, that's stalling, right? That's what's the wrestling signal for stalling? Stalling. You know what I mean? It's just it was stalling.
I think this means something else.
Costa's a beast. Costa's a badass. Costa took that fight on short notice. He's very green, so raw, made it exciting for the crowd, made it exciting for the fans, was going for fucking shit the whole time, beat Nifty Steve's ass, hit him with good shots. I love Costa. I stand by the pick, and I'm going to be picking him in the future. Diego Lopez, he's the all-star OG of the night. In my opinion, nobody is better than Diego Lopez out of the whole card. Nobody came in and did a better job. Like, he should be getting 50K, 75K, whatever they want to give him, but he is outstanding. I mean, to just go in there, plus 100 underdog, make it look easy, but also make it exciting. Like, he was like scrapping. Like, it was a chaotic fight. Amazing. That's the type of guy you want to see in there.
BSD, your boy, after that, did phenomenal as
And
well.
he set it up so perfectly, man. Body kick, right to the liver, boom. And then when he went to the head, where was Frivola's elbow? Right above that
Down,
liver, 'cause it
blocking
hurts
that
way worse.
body.
You know what I mean? It hurt. Like I'd rather get kicked in the head than the fucking liver. So,
And I actually do like their demonstration of respect to one another after the fight. Two
That was
veterans.
yeah.
But I hated Sergey Pavlovich getting suckered into a hug fest.
Before we get to that, let's talk. Yeah,
What was that?
That was sucker shit. That was vampire energy sucker manipulation shit. But before we get to that, Mackenzie Dern, right? You watch
Cut.
like she's got everybody. Like she's got the face, the character of a sane person, like well played. She can play it really well. Like on the embedded, she's just like, oh, I'm just normal, you know, it's just me, just normal, just me, normal. Here's a normal story. Here's a normal story. But behind her eyes, you just see this psychoticness, you know? And then the decision making is all erratic and stuff too. Like Dean Thomas said in the fight, he goes, whoever told her to fire Jason Perillo should be fired. But I disagree with Dean because it's like, okay, no, Dean. Whoever told her to go to Jason Perillo in the first place should be fired because she's jiu-jitsu girl. We're not trying to fucking be a competent boxer. We're trying to.
We need to get her with Ben Askren.
Yeah.
We need to get her with Ben Askren or something.
Go to Alpha Male.
Ben Askren, dude, because Ben Askren has that funky style that kind of works really well with jiu-jitsu if you think about it. Get her with Ben Askren, get her with Gio Martinez, get her with some fucking flashy jiu-jitsu guys that know how to fucking get people to the ground or at least pull guard in a way that allows you to create scrambles. Because she's not even pulling guard. She's going out there and fighting like she was brought in off a bar stool to fight Layla Ali or some shit. She's out here like getting into scraps with fighters that are like Jessica Andrade. Mackenzie could train with Jason Perillo every fucking day for 20 years. And she's never going to outstrike Jessica Andrade. You know what I mean? She could train from now until the last day. She could possibly even have a match. Jessica Andrade is thick-headed, a fucking tank, is going to walk forward. Joe said it 50,000 times on the broadcast. She is not going to get knocked out by the likes of you. The only reason she got knocked out by Weili is because she got scared. She was just scared in that fight. She wasn't like out. She blitzed her. It was just she got overwhelmed, right? But I'm just saying that like Mackenzie Dern is never going to outstrike the better strikers in the UFC. So get her to use her strengths, or we shouldn't be here. We didn't train our whole life in jiu-jitsu to go out there and box and kickbox with these girls, especially when you're like she strikes like the worst striker you've ever seen in your life.
And now she has to give her husband half of her regular paycheck, let alone her ex-husband.
And I mean, and you know, as much as we all joke around and we want to say that guy is a legend because he's the only guy who gets to watch his ex get beat up and then get paid for it by the event itself. I mean, like that is legendary in a way, but it's also criminal. And like he should be kind of like, you know, like not, you can't be taking blood money like that. I mean, if he thinks there's no karma for some shit like that, then like he's sadly mistaken. Because guess what? Oh, that brings me to my next point. When you accept blood money, you will have to pay the debt in blood. Now, Stephen Thompson, we talked about it on the show, how he was crying, bitch moaning and complaining like a liberal on welfare for the UFC to give him money for getting on a plane and coming and signing autographs or whatever the hell he did. So he's out here trying to get $250,000, according to Dana White, for showing up to fight Pereira. Pereira missed weight. Okay, no problem. You get 30% of his purse. Okay, I'm not going to fight him. Okay, no problem. You got another guy who's going to make the weight for you. I'm not going to fight him. Give me my $250,000. That's just not going to cut it, guys. Like, that's not going to cut it. So if
I was so disappointed at that news.
I see the headline. Stephen Thompson says UFC reconciled with him. Now I'm just hoping that means Dana White gave him $25,000 and said, and Stephen Thompson is saying it has been reconciled. You know, that's what I'm hoping it was. But if they really did pay him, he's set to make for showing up and fighting Michel Pereira when he tucked tail and ran like a yellow belly cow to Carolina. He should truly fear what is going to happen to him in the Shavkat Rakhmonov fight because they fight gods, the same fight gods that rearranged the entire card so that their prodigal son, Nate Diaz, could ride off into the sunset against Tony Ferguson and not have to fight Khamzat Chimaev, who missed weight and didn't earn it and has been bitch moaning and complaining just like a lot of people in the sport, right? The fight gods did that for Nate, right? Now, what do you think they're going to do to you, Stephen Wonderboy? What do you think they're going to do to you? Shavkat is going to annihilate him.
And he just got his 25th straight USADA test. Clean. Don't worry. He'll make it to the fight. Don't worry about it. He's going to be there. He's going to be on weight. And his head weighs more than, Michelle Becerra's leg. That big ass coconut on his shoulders.
The protect this man at all costs, the protect this fighter at all costs fans are going to be so sad when he is carried out of that arena, not walking out on his own.
Which brings me to a point. I'm back on Twitter, and I'm coming for heads. Ben the Bane Davis, you have the worst takes ever. Spinning back fist, you have the worst takes ever. I'm coming for all you guys on Twitter. I am so done with all this pussy bullshit surrounding the sport. And that leads us into Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich. Didn't love the hug beforehand, boys. We can hug it out after. Didn't love the hug beforehand. What are you hugging each other?
Alex, everybody loved that wholesome moment. Didn't you see social media? Everybody loved that.
I did. Yeah.
That was a wholesome moment, man.
Oh my gosh. That is the last thing I want to see, especially the last thing I want to see right before my guy gets knocked out in 30 seconds. Because clearly your head ain't in the right spot. It's on the canvas.
Yeah.
No, I think he was confused.
Really in the right spot.
He was very confused by it.
What'd you say?
I said I think he was confused by the whole thing. He didn't know what was going on. He was like, is this how you express violence in America? You put your hand on his shoulder? I don't think he knew what was happening.
And Tom Aspinall, completely manipulated him the whole time, saying his dick was bigger. He's like, if we get into a dick measuring contest, Sergey will probably beat me. Like, that, the whole thing. You guys saw that? Did you guys watch the press conference? No. At the press conference, Tom Aspinall literally said that. He's like, I'm not going in there to have a dick measuring contest, and if I did, he'd probably beat me. Little shimpish, wimpy Tom out here talking about his little bird. I don't want to hear that.
His tactics worked.
It worked. He
doesn't care about you winning a bet. He's cared about him winning the fight. That's what he did.
It was Sun Tzu Art of War level shit, and Tom Aspinall now has a fan. I'm a Tom Aspinall fan. I listened to his post-fight presser. Love that too. Listen to what Chael said about him. I didn't know he had a son on the spectrum. That's really cool.
Who does?
That's Tom Aspinall.
Listen, I love Tom Aspinall, I guess. I'm not going to say anything on the show bad about Tom. He did what he needed to do. I had Sergey. I thought that Sergey was just a more fortified individual. I thought Tom was more breakable. All the evidence.
Don't let him neuter you, Luke. Don't let them neuter you. They neutered you.
Oh, what am I going to say? Tom Aspinall is really just too nice of a guy. Like, and he does, what am I going to say? He showed up.
Luke, you're a half a step away from saying protect Tom Aspinall at all costs.
No, I'm not going to say that. I just do respect what he did. I mean, it is respectable to show up and do the fight. I mean, Stipe. Okay, here's what I will say, Alex. Stipe Miocic should be ashamed of himself. He shows up in the same way that who else did this? Where they showed up. Justin Gaethje showed up. They offered him to fight Islam. No, I can't do that. But I'll take the free trip to Dubai though for sure. Stipe Miocic. Hey, you want to fight Tom Aspinall or you want to fight Sergey Pavlovich? No. You want to fight Tom Aspinall? No.
The UFC didn't give Justin Gaethje those tickets. The warlords that he hangs out with in Dubai gave him those tickets.
That's a burn. Dude, but I'm saying like Stipe comes in, and Stipe, here's why I hate him now, man. He acts like he's like, I'm just a fireman, and I don't like to talk shit, and I don't like all the the new age stuff. No, then he shows up and he's dressed like Tobey Maguire. He's dressed like Jason Momoa or whatever. He's got like tailored suits and shit. He's like, I don't know. He wants to look like and dress like a celebrity and stuff. And I don't like hang out with Machine. He wants to do it all in private, right? You're not an everyman if you're not bringing us along for the ride. All right. So let me know when you're hanging out with Machine Gun Kelly. Let us see it. Post on social media. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what I want from Stipe, but what I don't want is him showing up to an event for the fight that was planned for him, and the only reason. And they're trying to sell us on this idea that, like, no, Stipe wants the hardest fight possible, which is John Jones. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not an idiot. Don't patronize me. Like, he wants the least hard fight possible. Or, not necessarily that John is the least hard. What John is the least hard, but most respected, right? Meaning, it's the most to gain at the fairest price, right? It's the fairest price. Somebody comparable in age, somebody who's going to be, you're going to get something if you beat them. But the other two guys are better in terms of, or more scary, because think about it. It's like they were going to pay him the same, if not more, to show up and fight Sergey.
He wouldn't have had to share pay-per-view points, more than likely.
No, it doesn't matter. If it's a short notice situation, anytime there's a change in the contract, goes up. So I'm just saying, like, I don't.
But I'm saying if it was John Jones, he would have had to like share pay-per-view points.
I just remember a time. Listen, you call out sick from work, you don't fucking show up to that is literally like you work at a restaurant, you call out sick and you show up to the restaurant
to eat.
To eat with a date with your girlfriend. Like that's the same thing. It's disgusting. So all right, I think we can move on. Yuri Prohaska is the man still. Alex Pereira is the man still. You know what he said about Israel Adesanya was beautiful. How he pulled him. He's like I was sitting in a bar and I heard him say that I'm going to be sitting in a bar talking about how I beat him one day, and he pulled me out of that misery, and I am now where I am because of him. So I want to pull him out of it, and that was cool.
And Izzy with the lamest comeback ever, like I already beat you, let it go, Elsa.
Oh, dude,
I like it was a good comeback. But it was
it wasn't. Oh my god, it was
good.
You lost to the guy 3 times, and you're bringing up the one time you beat him. Get the fuck out of here.
And it's his second Frozen reference. It's second Frozen reference.
The second Frozen reference. And on top of that, he should have, not fought him for the 4th time when he lost 3 times in a row. He should have just let it go, right? Right, Izzy player 1? You little fucking loser, video game nerd, anime.
I'm mad at myself for getting frustrated by it. Like, I already know that I don't like Izzy, and I'm still getting mad. Like, why am I getting mad? He's a loser. I know it. The panel knows it. We all know it. I don't know why I'm getting frustrated.
We got a guy with stones on his hands. Getting talked shit to with nail polish on his hands. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Did you guys see the post before the fight where it was like, what we should do is we should have Yuri and Alex on opposite ends of MSG and just have them hunt each other for the belt. Just have them hunt each other down in the arena. I was like, that would be fucking awesome. Sign me up for that.
That stare down beforehand was chilling. Like, both of the guys just statues looking through each other's soul. Amazing.
That felt the closest like a movie or like Mortal Kombat or like a crazy like Kumite type movie. That felt the most like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. And that's why leg kicks are kind of lame, because like we can all like, you know what I mean? Like leg kicks, it's like it takes away from like the fight when one guy's throwing leg kicks, another guy's either avoiding them or taking them and slowing himself down. It just kind of like entropically drains like the speed of the fight in a way that's like wouldn't you have rather seen that first like O'Malley versus Chito Vera, just like them fucking striking with everything but leg kicks, like no leg kicks, just like body kicks, knees, elbows, punches, going at each other, but like just or McGregor versus Poirier, you know what I mean? Like with that first fight where he got his leg taken out, it's like, it just would have been a better fight if they were both were boxing. McGregor and Poirier.
No. Never say that word again.
No. I meant kickboxing. With bare knuckle. Okay, well, I think we can move on from last week and get into just one last run through. Dan went 8 out of 11. Alex went 7 out of 11. I went 3 out of 11. Dan leads the way, 169 out of 273, and you're 461.9% accurate on all of his picks across the entire year so far. Alex, 58.6%, 59% still right there, hanging in there. 9 points behind Dan, 6 picks behind me. I'm 3 picks behind Dan at 166 out of 273, 60% accurate. Trophy certified picks went 2 out of 3. Castaneda, Lopez, Pavlovich, the lone dog to let us down. 92 out of 136, and you're 67.6% accurate. If you want to get the picks for Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig, that's in the episode before this, but we're going to go through it again in the Patreon episode. So usually the YouTube episode contains more of an in-depth breakdown on the height, the reach, the age, who they fought last, all that shit that we already kind of know but are just saying for the audience. Then when we go to the Comb Club, it's more of like the ethereal, what they did this week, what they said last week, what they said during the presser, all this stuff if we've gotten to see it so far. You get what I'm saying? So they're both still valuable. You can watch the first one to kind of let it guide you towards your own decision, and then you can watch the second one to see what we're picking and like what the overall thoughts are on some new information that's come out. So a lot of good fights on that card, a lot of good dogs that we talked about last week. The lines have moved, and they have their value is decreased because we get ahead of these cards early. You get ahead of some good dogs. Last week I shouted out Trey Ogden, great dog I thought. Not trophy certified, so you'll have to see what the other guys think about Nicholas Mata, but his line has moved. It was like plus 150 or something. Now it's like plus 110. So already we're seeing some value shrinking. Tune into the Patreon, the Comb Club. Get the Comb Club episode. We'll go through it all again. But for now, we have a card that is going to be not next week, not the week after, but the week after, guys. It is 12/02. December 2nd is going to be the next UFC fight after next weekend. So we're going to have a long break through Thanksgiving. There's going to be college football. There's going to be NFL. We're going to come in here and check in with you guys, let you know what's going on with us, give you some content. But this is going to be the first fight back after a long break. This episode will be able to live on the channel, and you guys can get ahead of these lines, get ahead of the breakdowns.
It's just a 1 week. It's just a 1 week break, Luke.
Just a 1 week break, but it's
it daggers my heart. It makes me like downplay Thanksgiving, knowing that there's no fights.
It's a 1 week break, but there's 14 days between fights, if you think about it. Yeah, you're saying 1 week, and your mind's going 7 days. But no, a fight happens, and then nothing for 14 days. It's 2 weeks. It's a 1 week break, but you got to wait 2 weeks for another fight.
Fair.
That's fair. So, and it is miserable. I hate it, guys. I hate it so much. Oh, this is the only thing that makes me happy, besides like two other things. You know what I mean? And those things, and I'm not even allowed to do those things anymore. So, all right. So, Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker versus Bobby Green, Khalil Roundtree versus Azamat Murzakanov, and our boy Joe Solecki taking on Klose. Really good fights on this card. It's going to be a nice breath of fresh air, a free fight night out of Austin, Texas, the first week back after Thanksgiving. I'm excited. I know this card might not look like a lot on paper, but it's these cards that really are fun to watch. This is going to be great. Our picks are going to win, and we're going to all be happy. I have a lot of good feelings about this card so far. So let's start at the top. Beneil Dariush taking on Arman Tsarukyan. Alex, you were the big winner last week. You're the hot hand. What speaks to you about Beneil Dariush and Arman Tsarukyan?
Yeah, I mean, we got two guys, similar styles. I think that Beneil Dariush probably has the wrestling advantage, and then we have Arman Tsarukyan with more than likely the striking advantage. Not bad of a wrestler himself. I'm probably going to roll with Arman Tsarukyan, but guys, let's call a spade here. We got robbed of a really good fight. Jared Cannonier versus Roman Deladeze was supposed to be on this card. We lost that one to Jared Cannonier getting injured. So, yeah, now we have Arman Tsarukyan versus Beneil Dariush. I'm going to roll with Arman Tsarukyan. This is an interesting fight, though. I think it's going to be a little closer than people think. Beneil, his stock is low because of what happened last time, and Arman Tsarukyan, he's been on a bit of a tear. His only loss was Mateusz Gamrot, who, Beneil Dariush beat. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup for sure. But I'm going with Arman Tsarukyan. MMA math does not work ever. So Arman Tsarukyan should beat Beneil Dariush. What say you, Dan?
Oh, I'm all in on Arman Tsarukyan. I disagree. I don't think that Beneil has the wrestling advantage. I don't think he has any advantage whatsoever, except maybe in a silver fox competition, a salt and pepper haircut competition. Outside of that, we got the younger, stronger, more athletic, and more skilled in all facets of fighter going up here. So I like Tsarukyan a lot. I'm not sure what the line is at the moment, but it's a great play at the top of your parlay, and really not. I probably wouldn't even hedge out. I would just go balls to the wall and just let it play. So love Tsarukyan here.
Yeah, I think that Beneil Dariush is going to have that Super Bowl hangover after that long winning streak coming to the end. I don't know that he's going to have the same motivation in the gym after getting knocked out by Charles 4 months ago. Yeah, he's got some good victories against common opponents, but a lot of people thought Arman won the fight against Gamrot. I picked Gamrot as a 2-1 dog that night. I was happy to get the win. But I think the factors I see, 7 years younger, Arman, he's shorter, which means in this kind of matchup, he's going to have more advantage for the wrestling to go, lower center of gravity, go lower, get takedowns. I think that people are going to expect Beneil to be the better wrestler, but I think people are going to be surprised because I don't know that at his latent stage of his career, his latent age, he's putting in the mad hours that a guy like Arman is. I think Beneil's hitting pads with Rafael Cordero a lot more than he's grappling. in the wrestling area. I'm not saying he's not starting on the knees doing jiu-jitsu rolls with a bunch of people all week long. I'm saying he's not doing takedowns. So he's going to be stuck on the feet with Arman. Arman's going to be faster. He's going to be better equipped to do the takedowns and transitions. Give me Arman Tsarukyan all day, all night. Let me check what the odds are real quick. We got this fight coming up. It's December 2nd. I'm looking at minus 180 on DraftKings right now, Arman Tsarukyan. I mean,
wow.
Alex, everything you want on Pereira right there, babe. There's your Christmas budget. I mean, just because it's going to move. I mean, you put an $1,800 bet on Tsarukyan now to win 1,000, right? Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden he's minus 350 when the fight starts, and you just bet 300 on Benel the other way to ensure profitability.
I've got plans for that money, and let's just say it might be this weekend.
Interesting. All right, so you're going to tell us in the Comb Club.
Yes, sir.
That is literally the only fight that I'm seeing odds for on bestfightodds.com.
They don't even have Megan Rapinoe versus Bobby Green.
Damn. Oh my god. No, they don't. But I just want to say, February 18th, Alexander Volkanovski's fighting Ilya Topuria.
Too soon.
I'm just going to tell everybody right now, we all love Alexander Volkanovski, but he's going to get knocked the fuck out again. Who I'd like to see get knocked the fuck out is Dan Hooker. I'd really love to see Dan Hooker get knocked the fuck out by Bobby Green. And I'm going to go ride with Bobby Green. I tried to fade Dan Hooker against Jalen Turner, and it didn't work out. It's despicable what Jalen Turner did in there. He should be cut. Dan Hooker had a broken arm. He couldn't beat a one-armed man in a ass beating contest. I'm over it. Jalen Turner should be ashamed of himself for that. Then I saw he was out on the 4th of July looking at fireworks. Get your ass in the gym looking at fireworks. I didn't even look at fireworks this year on 4th of July. I'm not trying to aspire to be anything great.
No, yeah, and he missed weight. He missed weight for that fight too.
If you're trying to aspire for, I think it was before he was looking at the fireworks.
He was watching the fireworks the week of the fight.
Yeah, the week of the fight. No fireworks, dude. You are not supposed to be doing anything like that. And the UFC producers probably talked him into it. Like, yeah, we just got to get some footage for Embedded. Do what the fucking Russians do. Be like, you're welcome to film me in the sauna and in the pool and in the training room and on the mats and sitting with my team in prayer. You're welcome to do. Don't let them talk you into go driving fucking cars on the racetrack or doing the stratosphere or doing the slingshot ball or doing the fucking pet the koalas. This is what gets you fucked up every time. I'm listening to the fucking girl with the clipboard and the thick rimmed glasses who went to NYU and Berkeley, and she comes up, hi, Jalin. We want you to come pet this koala that has fucking SARS, and then we want you to go ride this Formula One car where your back's gonna get all fucked up because you're not supposed to be going 180 miles an hour in a flame retardant suit 2 days before you're supposed to fight in the UFC, getting your adrenaline all spiked, get your cortisol all spiked, you're fucking impeding and impacting your recovery and your weight cut. This is madness for content ever since the WME IMG and Tom Brady and fucking Jared Leto. I mean, if I see Jared Leto's fucking corpse ass walking around the UFC one more time, I'm canceling every fucking thing that I spend money on with the UFC. I'm buying no more pay-per-views. I'll go fucking dark because I am sick of seeing Corpse Bride walking around thinking he's Jesus Christ fucking reincarnate with his fucking house, his CIA bugged up house, and his fucking borderline sex cult on Netflix. I'm done with this Jared Leto in the UFC, guys. He can be there. He can own part of it. He can be sitting there collecting the check. But if you want people to fucking tune out, keep fucking flashing the camera to him. Keep flashing the camera to him if you want people to tune out. But if he owns a piece of it, show him this at the board meeting. Say, hey, this guy Luke, I mean, he's been a fan for a while. I mean, like he pretty much pays the fucking electric bill around here with his pay-per-views and his evangelism. I mean, like, he's not nothing. Like, let's just take maybe we could just show Jared Leto less.
That's why we have the horror movie advertisements. Probably
put him in the movie and let him play Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Luke,
let him do
Dan,
it. So
that's a great point.
$2 at the box office, and we can be done here. And he could go.
That's a great point, Dan.
Get him back on tour. Get him back on tour full time. I want 30 Seconds to Mars on a world tour. I want him going to Sydney, Tokyo, Russia, Moscow, back to the Ukraine, back to Russia. See if he can work something up. Keep him busy. You know what I mean? Keep him busy. Send him to Israel. Send him to Palestine. Send him to Gaza. Send him everywhere. Dude. This is Film Club talk, but I'm saying we got to get Jared out of the fucking stands. He's not supposed to be in New York on a Saturday. He should have been in Moscow, Tokyo, Sydney, Ireland, any other country on his global world tour with 30 Seconds to Mars. Get him out of here.
I disagree, Luke. I love Morbius. Morbius is the man. And Dan, you have a really good point. If you're not showing Jared Leto, they're showing horror movie. They're showing horror movie trailers, and which do you hate more?
That's his influence, though. That's his influence. I'm saying he's putting the horror movie trailers in there.
Dude, no, he's not. No, he's not. That's just the
he's
only
all
thing they
about
can
that kind of
advertise.
stuff. He's definitely, if he's part owner, he's putting those horror movie trailers right in there.
No.
He's
That's the only
them.
thing. That's the only thing that'll advertise when Michelle Waterson's face is falling off in the fucking cage. Nothing else wants to be a part of that.
He is very beautiful, I will say. But it's like when you look at the devil, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I know he's beautiful. He's drawing me in. He's hypnotizing me. He's got a lot going on with all sorts of occult type vibes. I'm not in, like, I am into it, but I should, it's like you're into candy or you're into fucking billiards at the pool hall, smoking cigars and drinking beer. Yeah, we're all into these things. They are haram. Like, we got to not be around, you know, it's like, you know what I'm trying to say? So just because it's fun, just because he's beautiful.
Speaking of haram, did you see Conor McGregor's tweets this past week? They were recently deleted.
Listen, he's definitely rolling in his grave because think about Sergey, Eagles MMA. Can I say something? I want to say something.
You got to send that to Luke. Oh, Luke bought that for you.
He bought it for me.
I was like, I bought you that book. Here's what I'm trying to say. We chanted Father's Plan, my girlfriend and I, sitting watching the fight. And
Me too.
I said, Father's Plan. Say it with me. And she was like, Father's Plan. I was like, no. I said, chant it with me. And we did it. And then I said, Inshallah. And she was like, I'm kind of not comfortable with this. I was like, I said, Allahu Akbar. I said it all. Okay? I said this in my apartment. I meant it. I don't have any problem, you know. Like Jared Leto, I'm a citizen of the world. You know, I can mix and match. Remember in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, she's like, this one's Hindu. This one's Christian. This one's Nordic. You're not a citizen of the world. You're full of shit.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite quotes. That's me doing tea. I'm full of shit. So we did the chant, Father's Plan. And he still got knocked out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying he got knocked out. Umar, who was it, the guy?
Umar Nurmagomedov, I think.
Let's not even say what he did because we don't want to speak ill. But he, has been stripped of the title as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah.
And Brent Primus is now being given the title.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
He should be.
And the organization doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't Bellator done?
So we took this invisible title, gave it to this invisible guy, and all of a sudden, poof. Like what? So I think we should just legalize steroids in the sport. Obviously, we're libertarian on the show when it comes to that. We don't fucking care. Here's why we don't care. We don't believe USADA or Drug Free America or any of these other organizations can prevent the use, right? I mean, you see Daniel Cormier crying on national television, and then they go, "Oh wait, but hold on, it's a no contest." You can't change what he experienced, so you did him wrong because you gave him the false sense of security that he was going to be able to compete in a fair.
His kids still had to watch him face down, ass up,
and he wasn't able to be competing in a fair environment. That's your negligence. If you are coming in and saying, we got this, and a guy goes down like that, the face of the UFC, the next Michael Strahan on Good Morning America, DC, the fucking shining example of a good guy and somebody who we want to do good things in the sport, and he's the victim of what you guys are saying is this or that. It's fucking pseudoscience. It's the elevated level of they don't know what the fuck they're measuring or talking about. I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion. But in my wildest fantasies, there's no drug testing at all. And
you don't have to use that. You don't have to use that one for that.
Well, because all of this is in my wildest fantasies. None of this is real. Just to let everybody know. Nothing I said I meant or even care about. But bottom line is, in my wildest fantasies, there's no drug testing at all. They just let these guys do whatever they want because then we really get to see what works. Then we really get. Do you think that some guy who looks like Bradley Martin is going to just be the champion? You know what I mean? It's like that will end up coming out in the wash as well. It'll be like, yeah, some guy does try to just like be like the Hulk, and it's like David versus Goliath, and then we get to see like there's too much. There's a diminishing returns, and then it gets recalibrated. But at the end of the day,
pardon me, but one of the best fights I ever saw was Brock Lesnar versus Alistair Overeem. Okay, and those two science experiments were going after it, and that's all I want. That's all I want. More of that. Like fuck Hospital and everything he said about Chael. At least Chael has the balls to admit it.
when these guys talk about like, well, asterisks because guys, go look up, type in right now. Let's find the list. I mean, let's like Comb Club stuff. This is Comb Club stuff. But it's like get into the list of every single UFC fighter who has ever tested positive. You would be surprised, as they say. It's extensive, exhaustive. It's for all different things. And what? So then you bring your own morality into it and say, well, he only popped for this and not this. So this is better than this, and this is worse than this, and you can only inject this, and you have to take this is craziness. So I think that people should be trusted with sovereignty, First Amendment, freedom of thought. That begins with the choice to put whatever you want into your own body. You know what I mean? So if you guys are out here,
I disagree. People should only be able to think what I think.
You're taking successful people who got to the pinnacle of their career path, and you're waking them up like they are on probation at 6 a.m. So that is kind of like a governor switch on success. It's like, why would I want to subject myself to that type of success where I'm treated like an animal? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't got what it takes.
All right, so that was Armin Tsarukyan versus Dariush.
This started with Jalen Turner petting the koalas. We were talking about how Dan Hooker beat Jalen Turner. Okay, so and this was when this all started with.
It's a bit of a roundabout way to get to it, but
I'm taking Bobby Green. Is what I'm trying to say. On a wing and a prayer, I'm taking Bobby Green. He's a better striker. He's a tougher man. He's a better wrestler. He's gonna piece Dan Hooker up, knock him the fuck out. Inshallah.
Dan, what do you think? Your brother, your Daniel brethren.
You guys got to go to the Comb Club. It's going to be all straight up picks from here on out. If you liked what you just saw, go to the Comb Club. If you didn't, then don't worry. That's just Comb Club stuff. We shouldn't have even been talking about that anyway. So just go to the Comb Club if you liked that. But if you don't like that, you should still go to the Comb Club. But anyway.
Give it a few months. You'll learn to love it.
You'll learn to love it.
The Comb Club is a tip jar. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of value that you can take with it because it's all of our picks listed out nice and neat every single week sent to you. It's our open bet sheet that has all of the picks and bets that we place. Alex posted in the open bet sheet. Dan posted in the open bet sheet. Dan won $1,200, and those parlays were in the open bet sheet 2 weeks ago. So enjoy the fruits of Dan's labor. And if you tail us, if you fade us, whatever it is, you have access to the inner circle. Dan, is that what you call it?
Yep, and I've been very good. I'm a shotgun bettor, so I spray out a crap ton of picks, crap ton of parlays. So if you look at my sheet and you see 40 different parlays, just know there is a method to this madness. I'm taking out fights, I'm putting in fights in this one. Overs on this, unders on that. I'm really trying to get the whole spread going based on what I think is going to happen and probabilities and all that. So being that there's a lot of information there, I've been trying to get them out on Thursday. And then, maybe like 3/4 of them out on Thursday and the last quarter of them on Friday. So the information is out there. Get there early.
Dan sprays and prays. I aim and fire. I have a lot less parlays going on, and I often win. Sometimes, allegedly.
And mine's a mix of the two. But either way, all of our picks are listed out nice and neat in there with the Triple B Red picks separated, so you can see what we're betting. And as we've always said since day one of the show, right? It's like, you bet your own perfect parlay for fun. You take a look at what aligns with us and zero in on what that concentrated core. Because when we align, those picks are 67 to 70% accurate, which means if we bet at a rate where the implied probability of 67% I think is like -200. So -200 is our break-even point. Okay, great. So anything that we're Triple B certified on going down from -200,
we win just as much as somebody on the UFC roster versus a debutant.
The math that I ran through ChatGPT, I literally ran this math through ChatGPT. I said, hey, if I have a sample of picks that is, this percentage accurate, and they represent a certain level of confidence, and the threshold to enter this pool is a certain level of confidence, and that's all it is. It is a feeling, right? And I explained this to ChatGPT, and I said, and in this pool, those picks are 67 to 70% accurate. Okay, if we bet over time, odds that have an implied probability of better than that, we will be profitable. And ChatGPT was like, no, you won't be. And I was like, hold on. And I said some more stuff to ChatGPT, and then it was like, actually, yes, if you just bet odds that are better than the implied probability of the picks in the pool over time, assuming all the picks that enter the pool are the same level of confidence, you will, be profitable. That's what ChatGPT told me. So, entertainment purposes only, not financial advice, not even true. But
Dan,
what I do mean is, if you look at it even in a small sample of last weekend, John Castaneda, Diego Lopez, and Sergey Pavlovich, we would have had 2 winners and 1 loser. It would have been a profitable night. Boom.
So Dan
fall into the criteria of strike worthy picks better than -175.
So Dan Hooker or Bobby Green? Which one?
I'm going, folks, with Dan Hooker here. I'm going to side away from my friend Luke. Going with Hooker. Here's why, okay? Hooker, all of his losses, they're coming via knockout. I know Bobby Green's got a couple knockouts on his record, but all in all, he's really not that much of a knockout artist. He's a finesse guy. He's very unreliable. I know Dan Hooker isn't Mr. Reliability either, but I think just a little bit more reliable. I think he's got a better chin than his his KOs received record indicates. If you look at the competition, look at the strength of schedule, he's going up against top 5 guys all the time.
And who's Bobby Green fighting? Because he's fought literally every single person that Dan Hooker's fought. Sorry.
And he hasn't really won many of them. So
that's not true. They've lost to the same people.
Okay, so it's split even. I think that Dan Hooker's put up a better performance than Bobby Green in said fights. And I think he's got more power and more, maybe not durability. I think Bobby Green's pretty damn durable, but I think he's going to put together a smarter game plan than Bobby Green, who God knows what's going to happen. They're both unreliable. I mean, look at both their records. They're
the last 2 fights. You got Jalen Turner by split decision, Claudio Puelles. Claudio Puelles is the coward of the fucking UFC right now.
Listen, the fact that he beat Jalen Turner is a testament to Dan Hooker. I don't care what you say. He beat Jalen Turner. Bobby Green is not beating Jalen Turner. So that really
Bobby Green smashes Jalen Turner, dude.
No.
Bobby Green knocked Grant Dawson the fuck out 2 days ago. What are you guys talking about?
Grant Dawson gets pieced up by Jalen Turner as well. Yeah. I think Grant Dawson is overrated. I think that he was very overrated. I was one of the few people banging the drum on Bobby Green at like plus 350.
If everybody sucks, nobody does, guys. If everybody sucks, nobody does. We got to really zero in on who sucks. There's a lot of people who suck in the UFC, but we can't just start saying Grant Dawson sucks, all right?
Some of them are just the best of the worst, Luke. Some of them are just the best of the worst.
You need to stop. All right.
It's true. It's true.
All right.
Are you going with Hooker as well?
I'm going to go with Megan Rapinoe. Megan Rapinoe, a wise woman, she once said, God can't exist because if God existed, I wouldn't have got hurt in the first 5 minutes of my last game.
I mean, has there ever been more of an indication of just absolute narcissism? This woman is an absolute psychopath.
But then Dan, she went on to beat up on Jalen Turner. So maybe she thinks God exists now. I don't know what's going on with Megan, but she's going to be making money. I think she beats Bobby Green. I just think the length is going to be a little too much. I think Bobby Green will have the wrestling advantage, but Lord knows he's not going to use it. Bobby Green will lose this by decision, and here's why. He does a lot of hot dogging in there. He does a lot of rolling. It looks like he's getting hit with a lot more shots than he is. Yes, Dan Hooker wears damage a little worse than Bobby Green. He's pale as dog shit. If he gets hit in the body once, he's going to be all red. Skinny dude. But I really think that Bobby Green is going to look like he's taking more damage. He's going to look like he's getting hit with more strikes. Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of this, and a lot of that, and a lot of hot dogging. Did you see the guy on Washington drop the ball before he went in the end zone, like 3 yards into the end zone?
Like Washington University or the Comets?
Yeah.
No. Did it have an impact on the game?
Well, no, they got a safety on the next play, but he was running in, untouched, drops the ball on like the 3-yard line before he even gets into the end zone. It was hilarious.
Oh, geez.
But Bobby Green, a lot of hot dogging. It's not gonna suit him well for this fight. Dan Hooker, he's a tough son of a bitch, and I don't think Bobby Green has what it takes to put him away. But this is a 5-round fight, rare co-main event 5-round fight for a non-title fight. I got to go with Dan Hooker on this one.
Yeah, and he's the favorite at minus, just shy of minus 150. So let's roll on to the the feature bout of the evening. I'll pull it up right here, unless you have it on deck.
Khalil Roundtree versus Azamat Murzakanov.
Yeah, this is a stay away from me. We got 2 fights back to back where we have very inconsistent fighters. I know Azamat is undefeated, but I feel like there's some holes in his game. You know, he seemingly gets, you know, not beat up, but he's losing the fight until he doesn't, until he lands a crazy flying knee out of nowhere. And you know, Khalil, we know about Khalil. Very inconsistent fighter. One day he's like a Muay Thai fighter. The next day he's a kickboxer. He looks great one fight. He looks like dog shit the next. I'll take Khalil in this one. Again, it's a complete stay away, even more so than Bobby Green, Dan Hooker. I'll take Khalil. I'm hoping that his Muay Thai and those teep kicks will keep Azamat at bay. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. You know, gets the unanimous decision victory. No knockout here. Khalil's pretty durable. No, I'm not thinking of any knockouts against him here. You know, maybe
last time he was KO'd was against Ion Cutabella in 2019, and before that it was Johnny Walker in 2018.
All right, so you know, a couple guys to get knocked out by. It's not the worst thing in the world. What weight class is this?
This is at light heavyweight. My piece is, I think Dustin Jacoby beat both of these guys, and he didn't really get the rub on the judges' scorecard. I think Dustin Jacoby's a lot better than Khalil Roundtree, and I think he beat up Azamat Murzakanov, unless I'm remembering it a little differently. I think that Dustin Jacoby is better than both of these guys, but, I mean, he lost to both. It's going to be tough for me. I don't want to go with Azamat, so I'm going to go with Khalil Roundtree as well. Former fat boy Khalil Roundtree. He used to be 300 pounds, Dan. Can you believe that? Look at that bod.
Ooh, yeah, he's been hitting the gym.
Oh yeah,
Dustin Jacoby.
We have Jacoby.
We have Azamat at -148, so we're taking the dog here with Khalil at +124 as of now. I don't really see him getting steamed. I think he's going to be a dog by the time this thing turns out as well, so we should be safe there.
Awesome. Lukey?
I'm going with Khalil as well. Khalil is, normally I would say in this situation, you got a hardened man from Russia in Murzakanov, and he's just from harder conditions and harsher conditions in Khalil. You know, like Alex said, former fat kid. Well fed, right? So, but I would say like and Sean Strickland's gone off on Khalil. He's been like, he's soft-hearted, he's a soft bitch, like stuff like that of that nature.
We got 2 people that Sean Strickland went off on.
Yeah. I felt like a bitch when Sean said that because I found Khalil's post-fight stuff inspiring. You know what I mean? I was like, good for him. You know what I mean? Back to our previous point about the guy at the Penn State game. But I'm gonna go with Khalil because if fucking Tom Aspinall doesn't get more doughboy than Tom Aspinall, if he can knock out Sergey Pavlovich in round 1, which is the one thing we said, we're like, all right, we can go over 1.5 because if Sergey's gonna lose, it's gonna be later on.
Thank God we didn't put it on both of those things.
We still have some money. Thank God we can go again this week, and we'll let you know in the Cone Club who the bet will be this week. And we bet half of the money last time, so now we're gonna have to bet the rest this time. And God, we need to win. So just to get even. Gamble responsible. This is responsible because it's not our money. That's the best way you can gamble is with credit or renewable income streams that you don't need. But don't we all kind of need all income streams, right, guys? Like we kind of all need all of them at this point. And that's why we need to rock the vote. You know what I mean? Make sure you rock the vote this year, right? And you're a big voting guy, dumbass. Anyway, rock the vote. All right, just kidding, guys. This is all Cone Club talk. It's Khalil Roundtree because if Doughboy Tom Aspinall can knock out Sergey, Khalil's going to kick Murzakanov right in the belly, elbow him, knee him. He's going to fuck him up. And Murzakanov's going to be there to take it. He's going to want it, He loves getting his ass kicked and beat up and shit. And these Russians, a lot of these guys, they just like love to just be like, no, it's great defense. Look at this defense. And it's like, but you're not putting any offense out. And if they're hit, it's not boxing.
See, that's my problem with the Bobby Green pick, Luke. That's exactly my problem with the Bobby Green.
No. Bobby Green's not going to get touched. And Dan Hooker is going to kick his legs. And then if Bobby Green gets annoyed by that, he's going to drop him on his fucking shit like Islam did and submit him within fucking 2 minutes. Dude, you guys don't even know. Dan Hooker's ground game is piss poor compared to Bobby Green's. What do you think happens if Tony Ferguson and Dan Hooker roll around on the ground? You think Dan Hooker's getting the better of him on the ground? Hell no. I'm not saying you can't beat Tony Ferguson up on the feet and then make it bad for him and then end up on top and still elbow him and shit. But I'm saying, like, Tony Ferguson is pretty skilled on the ground. Bobby Green submitted him. Grant Dawson, we were talking in that fight. Joe Solecki even said, if this fight goes late, Bobby Green's a great wrestler, and he's, like, going to beat Grant Dawson late. That's what he said. He said he's going to beat him late. Like, you know what I mean? He beat him in the first fucking round. So if that's grading on a curve, it's like, damn, he covered the spread. Like, we had him like, all right, if he wins, it's going to be here. Boom. That's sick shit. Whereas Dan Hooker goes in there, I think, as a favorite against Jotland Turner. Correct me if I'm wrong. We got to check the odds on that. I'm pretty sure if we go back to Tapology and check, he was a favorite going into that fight.
There was no way he'd be a favorite.
He was like plus 180, right? I think it was like plus 180, right? Either way, it's like split decision, breaks his hand, is breakable, takes long gaps. All his teammates are gone. They're not helping him anymore. You think Volk's helping him? Hell no. You think Israel's helping him? Hell no. No one's helping him.
Israel's at the bar talking about the one time he beat Alex Pereira.
Damn.
Poetic.
Awesome.
Timestamp awesome. That epic Israel Adesanya needs to hear this. And dude, can you clip me going off on Jared Leto and then put you playing Fortnite next to it and then make it say like epic go off rant, epic go off rant on Jared Leto? You know,
I'll do my best.
You know what I'm talking about there? Those videos where it's like a guy on top ranting, and then then there's like a streamer playing like beneath him.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I have that capability yet.
You can. I'll pay you. I'll pay you to do it. Epic go off rant on Jared Leto. We'll get a lot of views on that.
Epic Leto rant. Perfect. Yes.
Go off. Epic go off rant.
No, yeah. I just shorthand noted that one. I'll put every action item you want in there.
Spell that with the O's. Put zeros. Okay. All right, let's go. So Natural will be certified, but you two are gonna settle on Hooker. I'm taking by.
Oh, Luke, you brought up Tony Ferguson. One more sidetrack before we get on to the next.
Sorry,
Here we go.
What do you guys think about him with David Goggins?
I think he's going to show up to the fight like dog tired with multiple injuries, and he's going to die.
He's going to have he's going to have rhabdomyosis or whatever going into the fight, like Mickey Gall did that one time against Diego Sanchez. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was like. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is good," and then I saw him training and like throwing up. And like, wow.
By the way, I want to correct that. I'm a Diego and I'm a Mickey Gall truther. I'm a simultaneous truther in both areas. I'm for Diego wasn't that bad, and I'm for Mickey Gall wasn't that good. So I think Diego gave him rhabdo in that fight. All right, when he did the Dirk Sanchez move on him, that's what caused him. He got up very deep. He touched the kidneys via
Diego Sanchez is like I saw MMA Junkies top 30.
About him last week. This is the second time in 2 weeks we're bringing up Diego Sanchez. He hasn't fought in 5 years. We're like interrupting a already gone too late show to talk about Diego Sanchez, but yeah. Save it for the Comb Club. All right, so Rob Font, Davidson Figueiredo. I guess we're all going Khalil Roundtree?
Yeah, Triple P certified.
She'll be certified Khalil Roundtree, second of the night. Arman and Khalil. Excuse me. Rob Font versus Davidson Figueiredo. Guys, this one's really interesting, huh? Rob Font, right? I mean, just somebody who you can't really get your hands around from a, how good is this guy perspective? Because if you're grading on a curve, you go, well, we thought he was the next coming. I mean, he was like, everybody was lauding him as like, he could be champion. The New England cartel, you got Calvin Kattar, you got Rob Font. They're coming for everybody's heads. Kind of like the vibe that you were getting from the Brady, Pfeiffer, Wells, kind of Henzo Gracie, Philly type vibe area, mid-Atlantic region type shit, But you were getting it over there. So what I'm trying to say is it's kind of, I don't know. I still don't know how to get my hands around the New England cartel. I don't know how to cap them. I don't know how to anticipate them. I think that Rob Font's a bit of a head case. You know what I mean? I think that to bet on him, he's a bit of a head case. You never know how he's going to show up. I think he quits on himself a lot in there, but then again, when I grade him on a curve, I go, Rob Font was a pizza delivery guy who got into the sport very late. He's already achieved more than that. He should be so proud of his career already. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like hard to gauge, like, is this guy still in Super Bowl mode. I don't know. And I think to fight a champion like Deiveson Figueiredo, you got to be in Super Bowl mode. So this could be the fight that gets him up, gets him going, remotivates him, right? Or it could be the fight that he takes off his gloves at the end and we're going to not see him for a while. You know what I mean? I think it's a must win for Rob Font. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, though.
I think Rob Font beats the shit out of Deiveson Figueiredo. I think this is 8th grade bully goes into high school and he gets picked on by the scene.
You sound a lot like somebody else in the New England cartel who tried to say something to Max Holloway about this. He said he's a freshman.
Varsity versus varsity.
Oh, wow. I didn't even, oh, dude, I'm on fire today. But I think that is the case, right? Deiveson Figueiredo, he was the big 25er. He would literally just bully guys. Didn't have the cleanest technique. He was just bigger, stronger, more powerful. He'd be knocking out these 25ers. He's going up to the big boys. And Rob Font's a big 35er. He's got a long reach. He's got good boxing.
5'8" to 5'5", 71.5-inch reach to 68-inch reach. So he's gonna, 3.5 inches of.
He throws way more volume than Deiveson. I think he's gonna style on him. I think he's gonna show him up.
Something to note: Rob Font didn't make weight against Sandhagen. Rob Font weighed in at 139.
Yeah, because he's a big ass 35er. If he does make weight, which that's what we're banking on here. We're not banking on him to miss weight. We're making a prediction as if the fight happens. So assuming he makes weight, yeah, he's got power over him.
No, I am. I'm saying, okay, clear proof that he struggles to make weight where, they hit him where it hurt twice, Alex is saying. I'm checking that one. Yeah, he missed weight against Marlon Bear. Or did Marlon miss weight?
No, Font above contracted weight limit.
Okay. Yeah, so that means that this is going to be so you might get a Deiveson Figueiredo who's, let's go. I'm feeling fucking good. I feel fucking loose. I feel good. I feel hydrated. I feel ready to go. And you might get a Font who's like, fuck, on death's door again, thinking about going up to 145. You know what I mean? He could get chased out.
It should be noted that Rob Font was a last-minute replacement in the Corey Sandhagen fight, though.
Yeah. No, it's a tough fight to call for sure. Rob Font's the white hat in this situation. People want him to win. He's going to be the pick that I think people see the value in if this fight comes in at, minus 145 Font, plus 120 Figueiredo. I think that people will be like, oh, that's great value on Font. But I would see the value on Figueiredo because I think that every fight he's had up until this one has been very difficult. The preparation, the pressure, the exhaustion of the media and everything like that. And I think this one, he's going to coast through it all. He's going to hate it. He's going to want to get the spotlight back. He's going to be dying to get the spotlight back. He's in a must-win situation more than Font is. It would be a bad look for Font to get pieced up and beat by Deiveson Figueiredo. I literally am having trouble seeing it in my mind's eye. I'm having trouble seeing them even in the ring together in my mind's eye. But something tells me that Deiveson Figueiredo is going to shock the fucking world and beat Rob Font. I just got a weird feeling about it. So for the preliminary pick, this fight's still a ways away. I'm going fucking Deiveson Figueiredo, baby. He's a fucking champ.
Yeah, I tend to lean toward Figueiredo too.
It's too easy, Dan. It's too easy with Font.
Sometimes it is too easy. Sometimes
too easy.
These people, when it's too easy, sometimes you got to rethink it. Nobody likes Deiveson Figueiredo. Nobody likes that little lump on his head. Nobody likes his red little line in his hair. Nobody likes him. Everybody wants to pick Rob Font.
Rob Font will be the favorite in this fight. I guarantee it.
He's minus 180.
Where are you seeing this?
DraftKings.
Right now? Why doesn't Best Fight Odds have it?
I don't know. I'm just on my preferred betting app.
Yeah, I think I'll go Deiveson Figueiredo.
Figueiredo coming in at plus 150.
Yeah, I'll go Figgy. Figgy, can't you see? Sometimes you wear it.
I didn't even know the line. I lined this up for you guys perfectly. I was like, what's Font?
Minus 180.
Minus 180. I said minus 145 plus 125. So that means I set the line appropriately. That's where it should be. And then DraftKings took their profit. You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, I mean, or people bet it, into that area. But it's like, that was a good line set by me. Good line set, Luke. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Okay. So 2 for 1 in favor of Figueiredo. Dan, Ian's not seeing it. Sean Brady versus Kelvin Gastelum. This one again, it's so easy, right? It's so easy. I hate Kelvin Gastelum. I bet against him every time. But Sean Brady, I bet on him every time. He's from our area. He's a part of the Joe Pfeiffer podcast. It's every fucking reason in the world to take Sean Brady. Man.
We got to hear Joe Pfeiffer's opinion because he is not afraid to bet against his friends. He is not afraid to bet against his friends, and he will give it to
versus Pereira. He was like, I don't know why Petrosky took this fight. I don't know. So it's tough. It's a tough one for him, but it's hilarious.
He's like, all right, I'm going with Pereira.
I don't know if he said that. I don't know if he went that far, but he said what we needed to hear. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, this is easy money. It wasn't no vote of confidence, and I didn't have any confidence, and that's all I needed to hear. So. Sean Brady.
Did you see that Petrosky just got last place in a triathlon against one person? He just did like a triathlon and it was only out of 2 and he got second. So that's last place as far as
Alex, how's Sean Brady going to get Kelvin Gastelum to the ground?
I don't think he does.
How's he going to get him to the ground? Kelvin Gastelum's an All-American wrestler.
I don't know if he was an All-American. I don't think he wrestled in college, but I don't know. I really, truly don't know. If he couldn't get skinny-ass Bilal Muhammad to the ground, how's he getting tree trunk Kelvin Gastelum to the ground?
Yeah, and by the way, Kelvin Gastelum coming back down to 170 for this fight.
Oh my gosh, that's all I needed to hear. Kelvin Gastelum at 170.
Middleweight for this past two fights, 3 fights.
Yeah, you're telling me he put down the tacos for one fucking fight camp? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Thank God he broke his nose and didn't have to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think I'm going with Kelvin Gastelum on this one.
So the line to me would indicate that this is a Kelvin Gastelum fight. We got Sean Brady. As you guys said, you would think that it's one of those easy fights. Oh, Sean Brady obviously going to win. He's a minus 122 to Kelvin Gastelum's plus 102. That's a Kelvin Gastelum line. Like if you're going to read within the lines here, that's a Kelvin Gastelum line. I'm thinking that as well. I'm thinking the southpaw aspect that Gastelum brings. It might give Sean Brady some fits. I like the fact that he's got over 60% takedown defense coming down to 170. Again, assuming that he makes a successful weight cut here, he's going to be pretty big going from a 15-pound differential down to 170. Tough to take down, better striking. I'm liking Kelvin Gastelum here, plus 100.
Yeah, I'm taking Kelvin as well, Alex. He was a 5A Division II AIA state wrestling title out of Sabola High School. So I think that's Arizona, right? I believe that's Arizona.
5A AIA, that's 7 A's. Holy shit.
And as far as, wrestling goes, he was a junior college. He went to junior college, North Idaho College. He was ranked for the NJCAA as high as 5th in the country as a freshman before deciding to compete in mixed martial arts professionally. So
he was born in California. So if he won the state title in California, way more impressive than Arizona. But Arizona is also really tough.
Hold on. Sabala, it's in Yuma, Arizona. But Arizona's sick at wrestling. That's Dominic Cruz, Henry Cejudo, that's Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So, so basically my point is he won an Ultimate Fighter after that. So he's much better wrestler than Sean Brady. I don't think Sean Brady gets him to the ground. That you know what I mean? Kelvin's coming down. He's fought Izzy. He's fought big guys, and now he's coming down against Sean Brady. Sean Brady's little, dude. He got pieced up by Bilal Muhammad.
He got knocked out by Bilal Muhammad.
Knocked the fuck out. No, he was still standing. He didn't even get knocked down. But he was so overwhelmed and incompetent on the feet. That's a place you're not going to see Kelvin. Kelvin beat the shit out of Israel Adesanya in their fight. So all respect to Kelvin. I know I've talked a lot of shit about how he likes to eat tacos. He misses weight. I hope he does miss weight in this one. But I think Sean Brady does too, because 30% of whatever Kelvin's making is a lot of cheddar, baby. So if I say it's something as cringe as a lot of cheddar, baby, and you guys don't even acknowledge it, it's like makes me I'm hanging on that. And it's like, I'm rude on myself. I can't say a lot of cheddar, baby, and have you guys not at least giggle or something. But so it's Kelvin. Trophy certified Kelvin Gastelum plus 100 underdog. Let's bet all the Patreon money on Kelvin Gastelum.
Assuming we survive next week.
We got to get a sprinkle on Kelvin.
Survive in advance.
Yeah, this is the fight.
Jimmy B Foundation.
I'd be like, Sean Brady, my region, Philadelphia. Yeah, Sean Brady, and he's gonna crush Kelvin Gastelum. Yeah, Kelvin's old. He's an idiot. He's fat. I would say,
baby.
But no, wait. But no, I'm not. That Luke is dead. Kelvin's a Christian. He can understand rebirth. I'm reborn, and I'm putting everything aside, and I'm saying Kelvin, I've been wrong about you. You really impressed in your last fight. Sean really disappointed in his last fight. We reward good behavior in the show. Triple B certify Kelvin Gastelum.
All right, there we go. Next fight up. Now this is one that I would think would be obvious, but now you guys got me double thinking everything, thinking I got to double think the obvious. We got Soriano.
This one's obvious.
Dustin Stoltzfus. I don't know. Is this a Dustin Stoltzfus line? Who knows?
This is another guy. This is another guy that Sean Strickland.
If it's plus 800. I'll take Dustin.
He's plus 240. How about plus 240?
This is another guy that Sean Strickland hates. He says, I love Dustin Stoltzfus, but Dustin Stoltzfus is a gardener. He's an expat. He thinks he's German.
He put that on JRE. Millions of people heard him trash Dustin Stoltzfus.
Dustin's like, dude, what the hell? He's like, I told him, I said, yoga isn't going to help you fight. And he's just a soft man. He's just soft.
Dustin is a gardener in a war zone, apparently, according to Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
Punalele Soriano, he's got Tungalua tattoos. He's going to go out there and knock this kid's block off. Dustin Stoltzfus, I mean, I really shouldn't even be saying. I mean, I don't know if he lives in Germany or if he lives in Pennsylvania, but if I've seen signs that say Stoltzfus Farms.
Oh, they're all over the place. Do you know how many Stoltzfus Farms I saw driving 3 hours into central Pennsylvania this weekend? A lot.
Yeah.
Well, off those roads betting against Dustin.
It's concerning.
Really?
Yes, it's concerning. It is a sign. They are literally signs that say Dustin Stoltzfus Farms. But
I think the sign is he will lose to the way better fighter. He's at Extreme Couture, right? Yeah. I'm going to go with the minus 298. But here's something here. Why minus 298? Why not minus 300? Is that something? Is that something that's going on? I don't know. A little strange.
Because they know if we see
the occult. Now everything's a number trick.
This is master manipulation right here. They know if we saw minus 300, we'd be like, maybe give another look to Dustin Stoltzfus.
There we go.
But
right?
Since we saw 298, they're begging us to take Punalele.
I'll give you one more tiny little story from my personal life. Going into this past weekend, I'm feeling high. I'm having delusions of grandeur. I'm having conversations in my head how I should prep to tell my parents that I won $100,000. Right? I'm like, how I'm going to tell my in-laws that I won $100,000, right? And I'm about to put a down payment on the home.
That's good. That is very good to do. That is Neville Goddard level manifestation technique. Neville Goddard 101. It's the conversation technique. You imagine. Here's
what threw me off, though, Luke.
Yep.
That's the good thing. I know. Here's what threw me off. I go to my Wawa in the morning. I get a couple things. Price $6.66. I immediately go, whoa! The guy was like, yeah, I know. You know what I should have done? Buy a stick of gum. Buy a stick of gum. Just change up the price. But I was like, oh, that's not good. Still fucking bought it. So, that really.
That's why I always,
listen.
That's why I always get a $15 pack of football cards every time I go to Wawa. Whenever I see him there, right there, grab a pack of football cards. They got Jalen Hurts on the box, dude. That's your sign.
Yeah.
Here's your sign.
But 3 6s, 666. What's that equal? 18. 1 + 8, 9. Divine 9. It all gets back. Jesus Christ always overcomes divinity. Okay, let's go.
No, that's Lucifer. That's Lucifer.
I'm getting a refill. I'll be right back.
Veronica Hardy taking on Jamie Lynn Horth. And listen, I'm going Veronica Hardy, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me. Jamie Lynn Horth undefeated. She's due for a loss, guys. She did beat Loopy Loop in her first ever fight by split decision in 2016, and then back-to-back beat her again a year later for her second ever fight. So she's good, man. Jamie Lynn Horth is good, but Veronica Hardy, scrappy lass, came in there last time, beat the shit out of Juliana Miller. Pause, reverse. I don't know, Alex. What do you think? Am I dumb here?
I just
so good
really
against Veronica Miller. She was beating her ass.
I got a vision one time. I really got a vision in Veronica's last fight, and I think the vision might have just been a little too early. And it's her husband, Dan Hardy, going, "Stop the fight! Stop the fight!"
That was a vision of the past that happened.
No, but with his wife specifically. Okay. If he felt that way about somebody he didn't know, imagine how much crazier he's going to go when it's his wife getting her ass kicked. I don't know. This girl, Jamie Lynn Spears, she's pretty good. You know, she's gotten in. She made her way to the UFC out of LFA. She's coming in. Haley Cowan, not really that good. She missed weight, and then got her butt kicked. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna go with Jamie Lynn Cowan. I just feel like, why not? I feel like the money's gonna be coming in. Everybody's gonna be like, she's with Dan Hardy, dude. Have you watched Full Reptile YouTube? He breaks down the fight so perfect. She's gonna know.
On it.
Huh?
She's on it. She's a
great. Have mercy. Yo, that's why you come to the Triple P boys. We don't bring the bitches be betting girls in. We just take down their picks and let you know what they think. But that's besides the point. Who? Oh, wrong girl. I thought Coralie Dixon was the Dixon who fought recently, and I just saw her picture. Not even close. Yeah, I'm just gonna dog her past this one. I'm gonna go Jamie Lynn Horth.
She's the dog?
More than likely. I'm telling you, that line is gonna be inflated because of Full Reptile propaganda. Reptilians.
Speaking of the occult, jeez.
Okay, cool.
Here's the line. We got Veronica Hardy. Ooh, Veronica Hardy at plus 130. Jamie Lynn Horth minus 155.
Yep.
That changes it
Veronica
for me.
spoil the party Hardy. That's what they should call her. Veronica spoil the party Hardy. I'm partying Hardy. I'm taking Hardy.
Hey, no woman ever named Jamie Lynn ever lost a fight in a parking lot. All right. Yeah. And that's what this fight is going to be. It's going to be in an Austin, Texas parking lot. Jamie Lynn, as far as the women's fights goes, give me the tenacious girl who doesn't take 4.5 years off. A girl that's just in there from Canada with 2 teeth and just getting after it. Give me Jamie Lynn Horth.
Young Jamie's going to be there. Joe Rogan's going to be there.
Miss Rogan will be there, as was last time.
Sean Gillis is going to be there. Everybody that you know is going to be there.
I'm sure we'll be certifying Horth. I'm going with Horth as well to remain undefeated. Okay. Miesha Tate, Julia Avila. Julia Avila all day for me. Miesha Tate, 19-9, 9 losses. She's old, very old, 37. Julia Avila, very impressive girl. Didn't like that fight against Sarge Eubanks. That was a bad one, but we'll forgive it. We'll move on. We'll move forward. I'm taking my girl, Julia Avila, Oklahoma City, baby.
Julia Avila, isn't she like a smart chick? Didn't she like go to college?
She went to Notre Dame.
Triple doctor.
Like
it was like geography or something.
Geography.
Just goes to show, no matter how educated a woman is, you can't get them out of doing crazy shit. Like fighting. She's a triple doctor and she's fighting. Like, geez Louise. That's like Joshua Dobbs working for NASA and also playing football. Why? What? Just do
the astronaut.
Yeah, do the whole NASA thing.
Okay, don't even get me started on NASA. That's code for talk. So listen, that's code.
Dude, I knew you was going to mention that.
I stepped away for 2 seconds. You guys talk about NASA. You mean not a space agency, government fraud program to take all your taxpayer money? Don't believe in that.
All right, I'm gonna look up NASA real quick. You give your pick.
Both of these are old ladies. They're old. They're both old, but they're the good old. They're the good old ladies. These are some attractive old ladies out of my age range. But Miesha Tate, 6-6 in the UFC, 6-2 in Strikeforce. A lot more experience against a lot better fighters than Julia Avila. If you're struggling with Sarge Eubanks is a good wrestler, but Miesha Tate is a better wrestler. Milky Miesha is going to go out there and get it done. I'm going with the cupcake Milky Miesha Tate.
Oh no, that's a absolutely awful pick. Gotta go with listen, it's all about the age.
Yeah, you also said Jessica Andrade was, you dumbass, so I don't give a shit.
I didn't say anything about the age. I didn't say anything about the age with Andrade.
Well, these girls are the same age.
Are they?
37 and 35, pretty damn much. They're both menopausal.
It seems like one woman is 2 years older.
They're both menopausal regardless.
No, that's not true. Don't even say that. Don't even say that. Okay, menopause is not something to be toyed around with. Okay, Alex, we all know you're in your 20s.
Hey, at least we know neither of these two will get their period and miss weight.
You know what? I'm going to pick Avila, and we should move on to the next fight. How about that?
All right, double P certify Avila. Let's go. Next up, we got the Carpenter, Clay Guida.
Here's an easy one.
No, this is harder than you expected.
No, it is not.
This is harder than you'd think.
Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva. Let me just lay my cards down. Boop, on the table right off the bat. Joaquim Silva is going to beat the living hell out of Clay Guida. It's not going to be close. Silva, his only losses are coming via flash knockouts, which Clay Guida, I don't think has ever registered in his UFC career, let alone now when he's 65. Joaquim Silva, he's young, he's ripped, he's athletic, he's got a lot of losses on his resume, and that's the only reason why, he's being served up to Guida here, because the UFC is like, listen, we understand you still want to fight, you're somewhat of a draw on a prelim level. Who can we give you? I guess we'll give you this guy. He's got a couple losses. Everyone's a killer in the UFC, somewhat. But Silva is, he's a dangerous dude. I think he's going to be mauling Clay Guida for the vast majority of this fight. Sucks to see, but, it'll be good for my bank account. Silva all the way.
No, I mean, Joaquim, he has a couple of good wins. His best win is by far Jared Gordon. He beat Neil Magny in a wrestling match, and everybody knows that Neil Magny matters.
But even in the Tsarukyan fight, which you see it on paper, it's like, okay, he got finished. But if you remember the fight, he had really good moments against Tsarukyan, who, as we know, headlining this card, he's a top 55 or one of the best divisions, one of the best fighters, and then one of the best divisions. Like, Silva's good.
Yeah, I can really just see Clay Guida spoiling the party on this one. I can see it. If you look at his record, he wins one, he loses one, he wins one, he loses one, he wins one, he loses one. He lost his last one. So what's that tell you? The next fight, he's probably going to win. Just when you think it's done, he goes out and he beats a Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman, Joe Solecki's manager. Yeah.
Silva 2-1 favorite, minus 218.
Silva 2-1 favorite, minus 218. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't feel safe. I wouldn't feel safe with that. I'm gonna just pick Clay Guida. Probably not gonna have too much action on it. Clay the Carpenter Guida. Jesus Christ, what was he? Jewish and a carpenter. And a carpenter. I'm going with Clay Guida. Clay Guida all the way. Way more experience. These guys are similar in age. Clay Guida is going to be just about 42 when this fight's happening. Yeah, I'm going with Clay Guida. I don't like it. It's a stinky pick, but sometimes it's a little harder than you think.
Alex, you're getting greedy with all this newfound money of yours. You're just looking for ways to triple X your money.
I'm not even going to have too much on it. I'm going to watch this one as a fan because I love Clay Guida.
Yeah, okay. Me too. Exactly.
He's like a Diego Sanchez type. It's going to be a lot harder than you think to get this guy out of there. And that's exactly how I feel the fight's going to go. It's going to be a little bit harder than everybody expected it to be.
Yeah. I think Clay Guida could win a decision. I think he could out-volume him, prevent the takedown, get a couple takedowns himself. I think Joaquin is the type of fighter who will accept the ground position more than he won't. I mean, more than he'll try to gas himself out. He's old too, and Clay Guida is not the type of old who shows up out of shape. He's a workhorse. He wins, loses. He last loss, he's gonna win. Clay Guida is my pick, but like I said, not a bad I'm trying to make. I mean, he's got so much respect. He's gonna come in like plus 150, So what's the odds, Dan?
Minus 218 for Silva, and the comeback is plus 180 for Guida.
I said plus 150. I mean, another great line by Luke. Okay.
Like they got Punalele Soriano as a bigger favorite than Neto. And that should tell you everything that you need to know about Clay Guida, how tough he is, how much they're respecting him with that line.
It's time for the main event, boys. We got our boy.
3-time Triple P Fighter of the Year, Joe Solecki versus Jakar Klose.
Joe Solecki.
So we got Joe Solecki coming in hot off of that fight against none other than Carl Deaton III. That was a short notice replacement, I believe. who was he?
It was supposed to be BSD.
Benoit Saint Denis, and the UFC cooked up this for him in response to the short notice fight. He's got Jakar Klose at a Fight Ready MMA. Jakar Klose, 35 years old, 5'9", same height as Joe Solecki, same reach, mirror match on that front. But I think Joe, and this is going to be my pick, is just a more fluid, fast, and less stiff fighter. Jakar Klose, very stiff in his striking, his grappling. What the?
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Dog training in progress.
I didn't know if it was a daughter or a dog that was getting yelled at.
Yeah. I was looking at a different screen. Anyway, we got it. Listen, we got to go with our boy Joe Solecki, of course. It's Joe Solecki all day. What are the odds, Alex? Let's pull the odds up on DraftKings. We are now also in silent darkness mode. We do not talk to Joe at all leading up to the fight because we got to keep it business.
Respect. Because of respect. And it took everything in me.
No, because I don't want any
no distractions.
No.
Triple P certified. I'll be right back.
Joe Solecki? Okay. Yeah.
Why, Luke? Why are you in darkness mode?
Because, dude, you can't get too close to the fighters or else you're not allowed to bet on them, dude.
Oh, true. Very true.
The ongoing investigation. Yeah. So, like...
Federal fucking prison.
So, like...
it would
be funny if on the legal stand I had to admit that it's like so, you know, you've said you and Joe are like best friends. I'm like, the truth is Joe has always seen me as more of an acquaintance. I'm just humiliated having to be like, all right, I didn't ever want to have to admit this, but I'm under oath.
Yeah. Joe Solecki is -108. Jakar Klose -112. It doesn't get much closer than that, fellas. It really doesn't. I would say
-112.
-112 to -108.
They don't
Joe
know what
Solecki.
to do with Joe, dude. They really don't know what to do with him. And the public doesn't either. And that's been the case this whole time. I mean, I remember listening to other podcasts when he was fighting Austin Wolford.
Hubbard.
Yeah. And he was like, they were like, like Austin Hubbard. And they're like, oh, you know what I mean? A guy who's like now was on the Ultimate Fighter comeback season, not even in the UFC anymore. People weren't giving Joe his due then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to remain somebody that is going to just sneak up the rankings on people. And it's going to be a while before, you know, he's getting those Aaron Blanchfield odds that she's going to come in with. You know, when Aaron takes the title, she's going to be -400 every single fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought you were going to say until he gets a fight like Aaron Blanchfield. I was like, Luke, I don't think Joe would like that one bit.
Wouldn't you line Joe versus Dustin Poirier? I would line that -400 Joe Solecki.
Yeah, it took everything in me not to hit up Joe Saturday after BSD is calling for Justin Gaethje and fucking, you know, Dustin Poirier. And I'm like, wait, this is the guy that pulled out against Joe Solecki twice. So now he gets all this pizzazz on his name because he's in Madison Square Garden knocking out a New York.
It was Veterans Day, and there's the whole veterans thing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He tucked tail twice, just like that's what the French military tells you to do.
The crowd laughed at him when he called for Justin Gaethje.
Yeah,
I don't think the crowd. And listen, that's the shit I hate in this sport. I'm with BSD. If these guys are the baddest, then they should be fighting like, oh, I don't know, the woman Jessica Andrade who fought 2 fights before, who they gave the record. They were like, you have had the most fights in a count, or was it Lupita Godinez? Lupita Godinez.
The first woman to fight 4 times in 1 year. How crazy!
and win, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
She had like, I think she had like 6 fights, but she won. I don't know what it was, but it was some congratulatory moment, and it's like, yeah, wouldn't that be great if we held Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier and the other guys, Michael Chandler, any of the guys in the top 5, top 6, top 10, top 8, any of them to that same standard of like, wait, it's Ultimate Fighting Championship. Are you guys really ultimately fighting to the ultimate standard? Like, is this ultimate, like it's once a year, once every
ultimately you are only fighting once a year, so I can't give you a championship.
It's the ultimatum fighting championship. It's if you pay me a lot, you know, it's crazy.
I'm going with Joe because I gave Joe the secret to beating Jakar Klose. And I found that out through Jeremy Stevenson. So he's going to go out there. He's going to just give, instead of freaking I'm not gonna say it, but what Tom Aspinall was doing with Sergey, not a hug. He's gonna do a good push, chest push, first second of the fight, give him whiplash. Great movie, by the way. I just started watching it. Amazing movie. Have you seen it?
I would rather Joe go full Anthony Smith and tell Jakar Klose that he's attacking his family than hug him. You know what I mean? Say what you want about Anthony Smith. I'd rather that. I'd much rather that if I have to choose between the two. Hugging, kissing, whatever you saw during the
Caio Borralho.
Yeah, dude. So I'll take Diego Sanchez with his energy blast. Like, give me that all day. At least he's fucking in a fight. At least he's
Tony Ferguson throwing fake sand.
I was just about to say Tony Ferguson with the fake sand. I mean, and then people who are like I love the McGregor mentality of like, call the cops. Like everyone's like,
dude, that was the funniest fucking video. Joe, you little weasel.
We gotta save it for the Comb Club. Allen versus Craig in the Comb Club, guys. We got a lot to go down with that. Let's discuss with that. Let's go down.
Jared Gooden's back.
Jared Gooden versus Wellington Turman, and I love picking against Wellington Turman. I don't know if there's a single fight, maybe the Sam Alvey fight. I think the Sam Alvey fight was the one fight I picked on Wellington Turman. I picked Wellington Turman. Every other fight I picked on him, I said he's going to lose. And the only time I've been wrong is that Mishka Serkinov fight. You know, I think I picked Mishka Serkinov in that fight, but you know, he's out to share MMA. So, you know, he's seen Alex Pereira have some success. He's probably going to come in here hot and bothered, all sorts of motivated.
Carl Robertson, not in the UFC. Andrew Sanchez, not in the UFC. Marcus Perez, not in the UFC. Sam Alvey, not in the UFC. Misha Serkinov, be surprised if he is in the UFC. But all these guys that he has had fights against, not in the UFC. Randy Brown shouldn't be in the UFC.
Well, the Night Train is going to come in with a 5-inch reach advantage, but he missed weight. He's going to also have significant muscle.
Short notice.
Okay, I'm just going to say he weighed in at 177 in his last fight that he lost against Carlson Harris. You're saying it's short notice. Okay, cool. UFC re-debut, right? Because he was in the UFC before.
Yeah, and, I think he was on The Ultimate Fighter a while back.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking of somebody else.
So, yeah, he fought Alan Juban, Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov, Nicholas Stoltz, Randy Brown, and then after going 3-1 in his 4 UFC fights and missing weight against Randy Brown, I believe. Somebody missed weight. Let's see. Yeah, he missed weight, 174. So you can't miss weight and lose and be 1-4. They kicked him out. Boom, gets 2 wins, one against Curtis Millender. Loses to Impa Casagne, racks up 2 more wins, comes in on short notice against Carlson Harris for the favor, misses weight. That's why they kicked you out for losing and missing weight. You did both again. But now you're back, and you got Wellington Turman. It seems like a serve up for Wellington Turman, but it also seems like a must-win for Night Train. I don't like Wellington Turman. I want to believe that Jared Gooden is going to come in very motivated for this, and I'm going to take him here. Georgia boy, Jared Gooden, let's go.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he was like a Northeastern guy, but I'll go with the Florida Georgia line myself. I'm gonna go with Night Train on this one. Wellington Turman leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, if you kick Wellington Turman out for going, or Night Train for going 1 out of 4, what the hell are we doing with this Wellington Turman guy? None of the guys he's ever fought in the UFC are still in the UFC except for Andre Petroski and Randy Brown. And I guess Bruno Silva, but Bruno Silva stinks. So what are we doing here? Get him out of here. Yeah, Night Train's going to get him out of here. Send him on a Night Train back to wherever the fuck he came from.
And he's plus 164, so I think that's good for now. So I think that'll get a little closer as the fight draws near. Okay, next we got Steve Garcia, Nifty Steve, taking on
Dan pick for Night Train.
I always liked Jared Gooden. This is a guy who always shows up to fight. You know, we talk about guys undeserving of the UFC roster, and that's not Jared Gooden, right? Granted, he's been losing fights, but every time he's in there, he lands a good amount of significant strikes. He always goes, just balls to the wall, trying his best, which is often pretty good. So in a matchup with this, again, I'll echo Alex's sentiments here. I hate Wellington Turman. This is a guy who quits. This is a guy who's a jiu-jitsu practitioner and really not much else. And Jared Gooden, I think, is going to bully him. He's going to be sent on the Night Train to hell. Give me Jared Gooden.
Beautiful. Let's go. All right. So next we got Nifty Steve taking on Mekoaliz Costa. Milk coffee.
Is that what that means?
That's his nickname, Milk Coffee. So I don't know.
The Milk Boys.
Look that up in Portuguese. I gotta look that up in Portuguese. But look, I'm really hard. It's hard to tell me not to bet on Nifty Steve after his back-to-back knockout wins in the last calendar year. He's on a
This is not Nifty Steve. This is the Mean Machine.
They're all Nifty Steve. He's Nifty Steve. The other guy's Nifty Steve. So listen, it's really hard for me to pick against him. I mean, he's coming in performing really well against decent competition. I'm going Nifty Steve. I'm going Steve Garcia.
It says the translation is milk coffee. So I don't know what coffee is. But coffee? That's what I would think too. But it's not translating on Google Translate.
Either way. I mean, it's just an unproven guy in the UFC right now. It's like, okay, he's 1-1, got submitted by Moises 9 months ago, came back and fought Austin Lingo. I don't think much of Austin Lingo compared to, Shyland Nardambeki or Chase Hooper. Steve made both of them look easy. He got finished when they sent him over to China. They shipped him over there to lose. He lost to Luis Pena. Bob Ross is pretty good, and that was also 4 years ago. Other than that, he knocked out every other opponent. He's knocked them the fuck out in the last 2 years. So I think he's going to be bigger, stronger, more powerful, more hearty. He's going to just throw hands, and he'll be the one standing when the dust settles because Mikoliza, he's a submission guy, right? Yeah, he's got 30% of his wins by submission. Sure, he's got 30% by knockout, but you got to consider where do these knockouts come from, right? You look into some of these wins by knockout. Was it a TKO? Did he finish him on the ground? You know what I mean? Was this, one of them? I don't know. So I'm just saying, I like Steve Garcia here. No line.
Yeah.
As far as I see.
Dude, Cody Brundage is still freaking fighting. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go with Steve Garcia on this one as well. For no other reason than milk coffee is just not my cup of tea.
Hey, how about this for a win? Shepe Mariscal. He knocked out that guy. I mean, that's a feather in his cap, huh? Got a Triple P certified Steve Garcia. Not a big fan of the milk in the coffee. I used to be when I was a youngin', but now I'm a grown man. I like my coffee straight black. I bet Steve Garcia does too.
So what are you going with? Steve Garcia?
Steve Garcia, Triple P cert.
I haven't had anything to eat all day. I'm eating nuts. I'm kind of not feeling so well either. We're doing flu game. Me and Alex are both sick. We wanted to come in here and do a podcast talking about fights happening December 2nd. But most of these lines are out, as you can see. So we're getting ahead of some lines, and things are going well.
Yeah, so next up we got Cody Brundage, who is on a 4-fight losing streak in the UFC. His last fight was ruled a win, first round finish by a legal elbow to the back of the head. Now, I've seen Cody Brundage take his gloves off in the octagon 3 times, I think. I don't know what he's still doing in there. Dan, what do you think about this? We got Zachary Reese. He looks like a little bit of a noodle himself. I have no idea to make heads or tails of this. What do we go with, the evil we know or the evil we don't know? Zachary Reese, the only guy he's ever fought that you would know is Aaron Phillips. I know him. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. And then
Kevin Holland.
He lost to Kevin Holland in his first amateur bout. And then pulled out of a whole bunch of amateur bouts.
I was going to say, I mean, let's take a look at this. 8 straight canceled fights? What the hell is going on here? Is this guy the most feared fighter of all time?
He's either the most feared or the most fearful. One of the two. You make the decision.
Yeah. He beat John Wegman.
Wagwan. That's like the British guys. Wagwan, rude boy.
Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of this. Honestly, I need to do the tape study on this Zachary Reese fellow. Last win coming via armbar. He's a Contender Series guy. Often they really don't show up all that well in their UFC debuts. Cody Brundage, I feel like this is one of the, Cody Brundage, he sucks, bet against him, then he wins, right? So I feel like it's a situation like that. As of right now, I'll go with Cody Brundage. Give me a break, people. We're 3 weeks out. All right. I'll get the tape study in eventually. As of now, we're going with Brundage.
Yeah, big mistake. I'm going with Zach Reese. Sorry. Zach Reese.
Nifty Steve Reese.
he beat an undefeated guy off the Contender Series. That's his record. I've been watching the Contender Series. You know, it's like I can't memorize all the names for everybody in the Contender Series, but I definitely watched this fight. Yeah, he beat 6-0 Eli, the Israeli tank Aranov, 27-year-old stud, submitted him with an armbar.
Stud.
He's gonna fuck Cody Brundage up. Here's why. I mean, the fight guys are gonna punish Cody Brundage for robbing Jacob Malkoun of that win, putting that blemish on Malkoun's record. He was getting absolutely dominated. 6 ways till Sunday. In transition, took an illegal elbow. They said he couldn't continue. Oh, you couldn't continue because the elbow was that bad. Now 5 weeks later, you're fighting. Something doesn't add up here. So give me the guy who's 4 inches taller with a 5-inch reach advantage, coming in hot off the thing that Dana White stands the most to build talent off of because it's his promotion. Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. So Zach Reese coming off that. He's going to fuck Cody Brundage up, dude.
Hot take, this fight isn't going to happen because Cody Brundage is just as dumb as Jared Gordon. He's going to be like, yeah, I got a concussion in that fight. And from the headbutt.
He should find a way out. I mean, he's already done like one of the most cowardly things that we've ever seen. So it's like, you might as well just keep doing it, like make it a gimmick. All right, so that's it. I'm going with Reese. Alex, you're going with Reese. Cody Brundage, Dan, you're siding with him for now, but I think you should reconsider that. We should be certified Zach Reese.
Take a look at the tape.
If you look at Zach Reese's opponent's records,
Alex, I've looked at Cody Brundage enough. He stinks.
We've got the only guy who has a winning record is Aaron Phillips and Eli Argonaut, or whatever the hell his name is.
Okay, Cody Brundage lost to Cedricus Dumas.
True.
Like, Cody Brundage has one move. He jumps guillotine. This guy's an armbar submission expert. He's a jiu-jitsu coral belt. Like he
knocked out that guy.
Trey Shongor?
Yeah, Trey Shongor.
But that was before his mom lost her foot, and that changed Trey Shongor's life forever.
Okay, next fight. We got Rodolfo Bellato versus Ihor Potieria. I'm easily going with Rodolfo Bellato. He lost on the Contender Series to one Vitor Petrino, who we know is a fucking elite beast. He's the only one who did his job last time he fought a couple cards ago. Then he went on a 3-fight winning streak, which includes one win in the Contender Series that I did watch against Murtaza Talha. He came in there in an underdog. I bet on Rodolfo Bellato. I knew I was going to clean that bet up because he lost on the Contender Series and he's getting a second opportunity. We knew who Vitor Petrino was. It's like, dude, this guy's going to fucking kill this guy on the Contender Series because it's his last chance. Also, Team Nogueira. So, yeah, he won me some serious money. And he's coming in now with a 2-inch reach advantage against the Ukrainian. Guys, let's be real. Ukraine is out. It's all about Gaza now. It's all about Palestine. It's all about Israel. Ukraine and Russia is so 2000 late. We're so done with that. The UFC is embarrassed. They still have this guy on the roster. They're like, get this fucking guy out of here. Nobody cares anymore. So, I mean, just drive around your neighborhood. All the Ukrainian flags are down. They're all down. No one has a Ukrainian flag on their neighborhood anymore. I'm looking around. I'm like, where'd they all go? Is the war over? This is Comb Club talk. We're going to get
this Comb Club talk. Holy shit!
And you'll find out where our money is going in the Israel-Palestine conflict.
No, it's going nowhere. It's going nowhere except to gamble with. Anyway,
no, not our money. The government. Sorry.
Rodolfo Bellato is my pick, and emphatically, I want to see what the line is, but it's Rodolfo Bellato.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Luke. Eeyore, let us not forget Mauricio Shogun, who almost got him out of there. He almost got him out of there, and it was a 1-round fight. Shogun got put away, but he hasn't fought anybody that good, and he hasn't really impressed me. He is going to get destroyed. I thought this was the guy who broke his arm on the takedown. Was that another Ukrainian guy, or am I crazy? But I'm going with the guy from Team Nog. He's going to avenge his Brazilian brother, Mauricio Shogun.
Yeah, so Rodolfo Bellato, everything that you guys are saying makes sense, but look at the Tapology pick. Look at this guy's tattoos. Those are jiu-jitsu tattoos if I've ever seen them, okay? You got the scales going on. You got the Diladanus dragon scales thing going on. I don't know, okay? I'm no fan of Ihor Potieria. God knows he's a recluse losing machine, but woo, you get those jiu-jitsu tattoos, you get me nervous, brother. I'll go with Bellato. But don't say I didn't warn you.
And Dan, you know what Chael Sonnen said about Team Nogueira. They give out black belts like they're a toy with the Happy Meal. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Let's go through everybody's picks, and we'll get to the Comb Club episode.
All right. If you're rolling with me, you are going to be going with Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker, Khalil Roundtree, Davison Figueiredo, Kelvin Gastelum, Punahele Soriano, Jamie Lynn Horth, Milky Misha Tate, Clay Guida, Joe Solecki, Jared Gooden, Steve Garcia, Zachary Reese, and Rodolfo Bellato, the trader. Luke, what do you think about this one?
I'm Dan. Go ahead. I'm typing everybody's things up.
All right, from the top, we got Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker, Khalil Roundtree Jr., Rob Font, Kelvin Gastelum, Punahele Soriano, Jamie Lynn Horth, Julia Avila, Joaquim Silva, Joe Solecki, Jared Gooden, Steve Garcia, Cody Brundage, and Rodolfo Bellato.
Hell yeah.
I did a hell yeah.
I'm going with Arman Tsarukyan, Bobby Green, Khalil Roundtree Jr., Davidson Figueiredo, Kelvin Gastelum, Punahele Soriano, Jamie Lynn Horth, Julia Avila, Clay Guida, Joe Solecki, Jared Gooden, Steve Garcia, Zachary Reese, and Rodolfo Bellato. Reese and Bellato emphatically.
How the hell is Jakar close fighting and I didn't bring up Crimson Chin Courtney Casey once? Quadruple C?
Comb Club talk.
So how many of those will be certified? Do you guys know? Can you help me out here?
We got Rodolfo Bellato, Nifty Steve, Jared Gooden,
Joe Solecki,
Punahele Joe Solecki,
Jamie Lynn,
Kelvin Gastelum. No, Luke has Veronica Hardy, I think.
I picked Horth.
Okay, Horth.
Soriano.
Punahele, Horth.
Is it Avila or is Tate? Dan, you went with Tate, right?
I went with Tate.
Dan, yeah, I was with Tate. Gastelum, not Figueiredo. Dan, you went with Font?
Yep.
But Khalil Roundtree was, and Tsarukyan was.
Yep.
Oh, wait, did I say Dan Hooker? I meant Dan Hooker. I think I accidentally said Bobby Green. Sorry.
Yeah, you guys both went with Hooker. And then, Dan, I know you went with Font. Alex went with Figueiredo.
So
Sorry,
Triple P, Arman Tsarukyan, Khalil Roundtree, Kelvin Gastelum, Punahele Soriano, Jamie Lynn Horth, Joe Solecki, Jared Gooden, Nifty Steve Garcia, and Rodolfo Bellato. I counted 9, maybe 8. I might accidentally put up too many figures.
That's good by my count. Yeah, that works. Perfect. All right. So, guys, join us on the Code Club. We're going to go through Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig again and just give our final thoughts on that. Talk everything that we missed to touch on this show. And best way to get the open bet sheets, the picks all listed out. Go over there, get access. Thank you. Goodbye. Good luck. Enjoy. Win alongside or fade and enjoy either way. Goodbye.